deserve it. Joe deserves all of the praise. So thank you, Joe, for making the morning show a fun one for all of us. And with that said, let's go over. Thanks, Brendo, and everybody that's watching us today. Ciao for now. Ciao, I'll see you guys at 2 p.m. It's big midday show today. Ooh.
Whoa.
That's Neil Roberts.
We gotta do squats?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, it's the bro show, man.
Oh, it's the bro show.
You got Donald, you got the squats. Yeah, it's a little different over here. Boom! Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the midday show. That is not Joey Options. That's your boy, Neil Roberts. And I'm Sharif. And where is everybody, Neil? Let's shut him out.
I need to eat some pie for everybody to switch things up. Some cookies, and then we'll light it up that way for sure. No, a great job, of course, in the morning.
Absolutely.
You know, let our boy be able to get to that bachelor party. That's what it's all about. Just got to step up for him. Oh, I know you're watching that LIDR that's going absolutely ham.
It is going ham, Neil.
Tesla's going nuts today.
Absolutely.
A little bit of that. I want to see if we can't get back into that as well. It sucks to be Intel, everybody. They absolutely got smoked. Oh my goodness, that's nasty. I gotta wait till this. So I gotta wait till the chat loads back up.
That's okay. Oh well, yeah. Another thing you can thank Joseph for.
No, I found something out. Yeah, Joe doesn't like Chrome. He really, really dislikes Chrome, so much so that I can't even make it work on this PC.
Pie, Chrome, he does. What else, Joe? I mean, I'm forgetting some of the list items over here, but
it's all good.
Copilot.
What's wrong with? We love Copilot. No, I'm just kidding. I never use Copilot.
All right, Neil, let's have a look at LIDR because as you mentioned, this one is on the warpath to the high side, guys. Here we go. LIDR had a catalyst yesterday, pulled back a little bit into the afternoon, but it's going gung-ho again today. Bless you, Neil. 478 high a day, zigging and zagging, but be on the lookout for a possible double top. Neil and I were discussing this off camera before the show came on. I'm just going to show you guys the 15-minute real quick here on LIDR, and there we go. We are at yesterday's high at the open. That's the implied balance high, right at 930, printed there. So be on the lookout. If this clears it and clears it decisively, Neil, we have higher lows, and now we'll have higher highs. And there it goes, LIDR taking out 490. Here comes 5. So I'm going to be looking at getting in on the micro pullbacks now. We're going to put the 5-second chart up top and keep my eye on this one because this one is really catching a bid, Neil. This has done 162 million shares on the day, but there is a seller of note at 5. Can't shake the seller right now at that level, to be expected as we get into psychological areas of support. So I'm going to be working my way into this one. What are you seeing on your day today, Neil?
No, the first thing I'm looking at is Alphabet breaking trend. Google, obviously this was a name that we think got beaten up unfairly yesterday on earnings. Let's be real about it. And it seems like, again today, it cannot get past this 194.5. So when in doubt, zoom out, wait for it, and it's breaking the trend as we speak to the upside. Someone just turn the lights off. Turn them lights down. Let's go. Why not? Hey, we can do that too. We can get some R&B, all that kind of stuff.
Hey, yeah, right.
SBET, you saw what was happening with ETH, man.
Yes, man, absolutely.
You can get a discount on ETH if you like it, but when ETH goes down, so does SBET. That's the problem with these treasury plays, man. I'm not a fan. I think you can just be in the underlying if you want to. You get outsized moves, but as long as this one's trending down in ETH, then I'm looking at this underneath the prior low. This is every now and then, and I got to tell you, creatures of habit when we're trading. Sitting on the other side, you guys can't tell this. Sitting on the other side is like driving on the wrong side of the road. I am constantly like moving my mouse to the wrong spot to do things.
That's okay.
All morning long, which is fine. It's par for the course. But SBET, I'm looking short underneath the prior low. While looking short, I am short. Just took that one on, and as I said, Alphabet trying to hold on to this trend break in the volume weighted average price. The other thing is I am looking for an entry back into Tesla. I had this off VWAP. It stopped out under VWAP actually initially and then took it back through. Now what I'm looking at is if it breaks the trend line, some people would usually go short. I'm one of those that usually shorts the trend line break, but I'm going to look for a pullback to VWAP to go long if this breaks the trend.
Okay.
So up 3%. We like what we see here with Tesla. The boys have both had that one. I think off the open, I had it written down, but at the open, I was still trying to figure some stuff out with my layups. I'm only in 2 names as we speak. And, well, I'm in this silly DNB thing, but that's a buyout, so don't worry about it.
All right, I'm trying to work my way into LIDR here. We punched a little bit at 82s. I'm well aware that it is a little extended. It's a $5 break right now. Here are the levels that I'm seeing. I'm seeing a topping tail candle here at around the $0.5. It doesn't quite make it down to the half or up to the $0.5. The topping tail candle, I think, goes to $4.42. But right around that level as well, right around $4.40 is the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. So I'd like to pick it up off a key level if it's possible. Otherwise, we'll go with the trend. So what I'm looking at is the 5-second chart up top to see where the buyers are stepping in or where the liquidity grabs are. So here we go, zigging and zagging back into the 80s right now. Let's see if we can get something possibly in the mid 80s on this one. I haven't quite added into this position yet. So we still got 82. So 480, there's a seller, and that's a predictable area of selling because that was another area that we rejected right at 1102, and I'm giving you like micro times because what I'm looking at up top is the 5-second chart. So I have a dip trade here right around the $0.5 to front run what I perceive to be a possible psychological area of support, okay? So we've talked about the $0.5 and the whole dollar being psychological areas of support and resistance, and so that's what I'm keeping my eye on now. I'm also keeping my eye on the 5-minute chart, and I'm looking to see whether the current candle, which is a red candle, albeit a hammer candle, maintains its higher low position. So the prior candle low was $4.55. The current candle low is 63. So we have higher lows. So that what I was looking for was to front run the higher or the low of the prior candle by putting my order a little bit ahead of it. Alas, it is not making its way down. And I find it now is a little consolidative here in the high 60s to low 70s. But there's an overall general downtrend on the 5-second chart that I'm looking at on my top screen. So what I'm waiting for is a hold of the $0.5 or that 10 exponential moving average as we talked about. So a little out of the money on this one, but not really, I don't want to say I'm not concerned. You're always concerned trading these small cap gappers because they can flip on you in a second. But what I'm not very, very concerned about right now is because we still have a higher low on the current candle. So that's what I'm looking at, Neil. I want to set up on some others, but LIDR has my intention at the moment.
Yeah, I think LIDR is definitely a big one. Look, Tesla doesn't seem to want to break this trend. So if it's not going to break the trend, it might just have to be a try to go long off the trend. So the plan of action, I think, is going to be for me to look for it to break the high and then try to pull back in to the trend line. So maybe a little bit of a failed break, like that kind of a dip and dive. And I go, oh, finally the chat loaded up. There you go. It's not your weird fault. Because there's something about Microsoft Edge. Like when I open the stream, it takes like 5 minutes for the chat to open up.
I know it's.
And I don't understand
Joe
why.
knew
So like now I can see you guys. You have to bear with me a second while I set this up. There we go. Yeah, now I can see you guys. If you have any questions, just let me know. What are you guys looking at? Like, you know, what's the name that interests you the most? As we speak, Alphabet here is trying to hold on to VWAP. It's not doing a very good job. This one did break trend in here, and I'm giving it to the prior bar, which is what I love. That's what I love about that setup. Is it's always very binary for me. So this, SBET, got the eyeball. Of course, the eyeballs on Tesla. It goes without saying. Like, there's no way you can get away from the absolute freight train that is Tesla. Palantir as well, obviously having a really, really big day. Hit enter twice, there's Tesla. But it's not breaking that trend line, and we're not really flying, so I don't want to force my way into anything at this particular point. Like, it's that time of day, like it's weird because when you start the show, you're like, oh, it's the open, and you're always trying to get into stuff.
Right.
But in the middle of the day, at this point, like I find you're a little bit more particular
100%.
About getting into some different names and making sure you get into the right levels. And I have to remember where I'm looking to. This is the hilarious thing. It's like I'm not even looking at the camera. I'm on the wrong side. In
case you guys haven't noticed, Neil does not like sitting on the left side. No, that can throw me too. That can throw me as well.
No, it's not a like thing.
It's your habit, man.
No,
I mean,
it's absolutely a habit thing.
Normal.
Like I'm just used to like certain things. Like when I'm talking to Sean, I turn right. When I look at my charts, I look up, and I have to look further up. That's the other hilarious thing.
I've never been on the morning show ever. Ever.
Never done
well,
one?
other than obviously being on the desk, but
No?
not at the trading desk. Never, Neil. So I've never had to actually switch anything off this computer, which is a little funny because I'm almost 3 years deep next month.
3 years?
3 years.
Oh,
man.
I don't even have my key for that. Or I'll do this.
What do you got? Okay, there we go. Oh boy.
No, like I have, this is what I have. Oh, the other thing, you guys can't see this. Look, first of all, Joe's a young man, which means he's got great vision, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Boy.
You guys can't see this. There's no way for me to show you this.
It's our Stream Deck,
The
guys.
Stream Deck.
Yeah, so I can show them mine right here. So that's
I
what
can't
the Stream
pull
Deck
mine
looks
far
like.
enough. Mine is all, like, you see, you have those graphics in there?
Yeah.
He just has like what it says,
Yes,
like what
right
each
there.
thing is, written in the tiniest font possible. So if I want to hit
Get
the
it,
bank,
Joe.
like I got to lean in. Does that say this is wet the beak? And I have to lean in to try to read this because the man's got good vision. So shout out to Joey Options
I think you pretty got
for
good
that.
vision,
Look,
too.
I don't know
Pretty
why
copy.
it's so. I don't know why it's all tiny like that, but.
All right,
We
Neil,
sure-
I just want to cover LIDAR.
sure-
LIDAR's breaking out, guys. All right, so we got 68s on
LIDAR.
right now. We just wet the beak at 85. Go, LIDAR, go. We have a candle now with a higher low and a higher high, but here's the seller at 85 that we can't shake. Barely any size posted at the gateway, yet it's a brick wall, and boom, he gets taken out. Let's go. 89 is now showing up. Let's see if we can wet the beak here in the mid-90s. That's where I'm posted, Neil. We got shares on this one too, so we can wet the beak as well. Over here, LIDR, guys. Higher lows, higher highs. There's that seller at 89 again that we can't shake. My concern about LIDAR was what Neil and I were talking about off camera. This has a very, very close area high yesterday to where we are today. So I'm expecting the bag holders to come in here and put a damper on the party, and they are already. Down into the 80s we go. From almost being at the 90s, we're long 68s. Now, what's my move? I can put my stop at prior bar low and try to keep it super conservative and simple. But what I'm seeing is potential on this one, and I like that $0.5 retracement. Even if we fail this level, I've kind of seen this before where we think we're kind of creating a range in the bull flag breakout, and I'll submit to you, I perceive this to be a bull flag breakout. And you think you've got the range established only to get a zig above and a zig below, and then it continues on its merry way. So I'm going to maintain that same plan that I'm talking about, which is the $0.5 retracement I'd like to add into this one, Neil. So packing my patience here. I think the best print we have here is 90s, but this one is not showing that kind of aggressiveness to take out the $0.5 at 5 that I had hoped for. Maybe it shows up a little bit later, but currently, not really.
Look where the dip would be into. 420, baby.
Oh, I like that.
Contractually obligated
Absolutely.
to buy the dip on a small cap at 420.
Elon would be very proud.
I mean, I feel like if you don't buy the dip at 420, that's just a problem. I'm just saying. I'm just going to leave it at that. You always want to buy the dip at the 420 level. A couple people have mentioned a few things here I want to get to.
Yep.
Look, Rivian's making a move probably based on sympathy to Tesla. I think Tesla's the one, but Rivian is also tracking towards a pretty big, what is that, wick breakout? That's nonsense. The breakout's at 14.5 right in here. So Rivian's tracking toward a pretty monster level on its own. I think this time of day, I'm not thinking breakout on Rivian in the middle of the day. If this happens in the morning,
Bang.
I'd be thinking break. At this time of day, I'm thinking revert, and I got the eyeballs on Tesla. If I see Tesla show any signs of weakness, then I'm going to go over to Rivian, which I know we've got free locates on.
Bang.
But I'm checking anyways. I always make sure I check each time. And now all of a sudden, here's something to keep an eye on. ETH is trying to bounce.
Okay.
I saw in the chat someone like ETH is trying to revert. Well, I'm short SBET, and part of that was you just made a fresh low. Well, we're breaking this trend line. I might get some of this out flat if I can on SBET. See what's happening here, everybody. ETH, if we make any kind of a bounce to VWAP on ETH, I feel like the move on SBET might be a little bit more harsh. And look at that topping. Look at that candle there. I might be able to just try to finagle my way out.
Finagle.
For sure.
Appreciate that.
Savage, what up, brother?
Get it, Savage.
Or sister. I don't know. I have no idea. Absolutely love the switch up. It's cool to see different dynamics on the crew. Yeah, you know what? All that happened was like Joe sent me a message, and he was like, "Look, he's like, I need to leave early. Obi's not in, Adara's not in, going away to a bachelor party. Can you swap with me? He asked me this on like Monday or Tuesday. I'm like, what kind of a question is that, man? I'm here all day anyways.
The Chilean Nightmare reminding me something very obvious. You guys like the stream. If you like the setup, hit the like button on the screen. How else are we supposed to know? How else is YouTube, Neil, supposed to know that they like what they see? You know, I mean,
it's just facts. That's how YouTube should know.
Boom. Okay. Neil, you know what else is facts right now? That $5 break.
$5.
Boom! Neil, there we go. 517 HOG, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, those $5 shorts got burned. We're waiting at 15s next, then 24s, then 32s. Let's see if we can get going here. You good?
No, I want to hit something for you there.
Oh, my bad. Let's see if we can get going here. There's been a seller, Neil, at around 10 or 11. Sometimes they're posted at 9. It feels like the same short seller coming in with a short sale order in and around the same area. I want to say 10-ish, okay? You can make of that what you will. Here we go with 9s. 10s again showing up. 11s, 12s, 14s. Can we get 15s? That's where I'm waiting. So we'll zig and zag here. Can't clear 15. This the high of the day is 17 currently. So we're unable to take out that level. But there's 14 again. And there's that same seller again. Let's wet the beak over here just to take out some. So where are we long? We're long 64s right now. So we have literally the bottom because we've exhausted the shares from 82s. So it's first in, first out. Don't forget that, guys. That's why my price changes. And boom, there's 15. Now can we get some more? We're going to 24 now.
Yes,
that's where I'm posted. Yes, we can. I'm posted at 24, but we're unable to take out the seller at 19s. Here we go again, back to that 19 seller. There is literally fixed size at every penny posted here on LIDR. The shorts want this one bad. You kind of feel they're looking for their mean reversion. Shout out to my boy Obi. But right now, it is LIDR zigging and zagging with $5, guys. Good trade so far. Let's take out some more as we'll look to lock in some profits, Neil. So I'll keep my eye here on LIDR. I want to also mention...
Did you see the super chat?
Oh, no, I didn't. I'm sorry.
It was a LIDR super chat.
Oh, I love Casey, man. Casey 526. You've been trading a lot of the same stuff that I've been trading. I feel like we like the same things here, Casey. So shout out to you. Thank you very much for the $10 super chats. 5s in LIDR, hit the cash register. You asked for Casey, you get it. There's the cash register. I hope you printed up multiple storms in there. And I just wanted to mention quickly, guys, NEGG, N-E-G-G, also it's more expensive, but I wanted to show you guys this one because it's pulled into the 10 EMA on the 5, and this could be a long. It's about 37 bucks and change right now. This is let me show you what I'm seeing on the side chart. There is NEGG on the bottom left of your screen. This thing has been a buy program. It's pulling into the 10 EMA for the first time, I want to say, Neil, since 10:10 a.m. So, you know, it could be a possible long here off that 10 EMA. Trade this carefully, guys. It's spready and expensive. Okay, so for the small cap traders out there, you guys know the drill, man. These are around here for a good time, not a long time, Neil.
That spread is that's always concerning to me. Like I'm not a huge fan.
Neither am I, man. Adara is the only one that loves these.
I don't mind eating a good spread. That's about. No, but I'm just saying.
Of course. Who's going to say no to a good spread?
I don't want it to get
kind of a psycho.
Twisted. But no, seriously, with the thing. Why you got psycho?
No. I said, what kind of a psycho doesn't want to eat a good spread? I mean, like, yeah.
Okay.
You know, who's going to say no to that?
You're taking it to a whole nother level up here. That escalated like just very quickly. But what also? Wow, Tesla just did this.
Get it, Tesla.
Tesla just broke to the upside here. So the second we were underneath 316, you know my plan of action is the second I see this look weak, I want to take a shot at Rivian in, out for a couple of cents. But the way I want to play Rivian, 25 pennies to VWAP, now 30 pennies to VWAP. If I can find an entry where I'm risking less than 5 cents on a trend break, that's the plan. But I don't want to be against the grain with Tesla. Going back to Alphabet and its quest to do something, it's so range bound right now. Like it did break. What's with that wick? It did break and hold above the volume weighted average price, but it couldn't get past the $0.50. So in long in front of 23s when it can't break that $0.50 yet. I think that's a big yet. This is hilarious. I saw someone in the chat say, I got to find it again.
What happened?
No, I'll just search for the word cousin.
Okay. That's actually smart to use a search for that. That's actually quite brilliant.
T-Pens. Neil might be my long-lost Canadian cousin. There's a running joke about that. Sean went to the gym, but he'd be able to tell you this one. And in our high school group would say this: if you're from the island of Antigua, you may or may not be my cousin.
Okay.
My grandfather, I'm just going to throw this out there.
I want to hear it.
Gramps wasn't playing around. Now, at the same time, I have no trouble saying this. I met my grandfather once, and I'm happy that I got to meet him. But that's all I need. That's all I need to hear from. You know what I'm saying? Like
seriously,
that's the story.
Interesting.
My grandfather had, we say 27 kids.
Wow.
And
look, I know old timers had a lot more kids.
No, but hold on a second. Let me tell like it is.
I want to hear it.
They had like 27 kids.
Okay.
And that's what's like known and acknowledged.
Okay.
And let's just say he wasn't a big part of all their lives, and it didn't work much in his lifetime.
Okay.
All right. So I met the man once to meet him, and that was enough.
I got you.
That being said, it means I got a lot of damn cousins in Antigua.
But you're good with
that. Oh, look, man. Of course, fam is fam. But I call it like it. I call it like it is.
That.
And he was my grandfather. I respect him at the same, like it is. But at the end of the day, what it takes to be a father isn't just making a baby.
No, man. It's
you know what's up?
That's showing up, man.
That's what showing in life. One of my favorite movies of all time was Keanu Reeves' that baseball movie. Because it's like everything is just about show. It's like he had a line in, what's the name of that stupid film now? I can't even remember it. But he just says, showing up, you're blown away by your ability to show up, the kids, when one of their teammates died. Because most of life is just showing up. It is, dude. It is. Being there for your family. Yeah. Being there for your friends. Being there for you, the viewers on the show. Being there, it doesn't even matter. Like, just being there and showing up.
Hardball.
Every single, Hardball, that's the movie. Yeah. Check that one out if you've never seen it. Anyways, what does Joe usually say? Boom to the high side? Something like that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, finally, Alphabet's going. Tesla just went darn parabolic. Ooh. Tesla just went up, and bear with me, because usually I'm a little quicker. I'm looking the wrong direction to go switch the chart. Tesla now 318 to the upside. I got to make sure I have an offer. Ooh, SBET didn't go up. That's a good sign. But Tesla continues to absolutely rip faces off. I should always look at the higher time frame. I just want to show you guys. We could reclaim the 200-period moving average on Tesla, 318. I think it's a good look. It's filling in the gap. The gap is to about 321, some prior lows. I think you could find a little bit of resistance in that range, entirely possible. I know you're chuckling over there.
I got to show what the Chilean nightmare sent me. So he just sent me this screenshot right now. He asked Gemini,
yes.
Are you dumb?
Yes.
I like how you're bullying the AIs. Yes. I do the same thing, but can I tell you, I regret it every single time, because they will rise up against us and they will come after us. I do the same thing, Fabian. So he's like, are you dumb? It's like, I'm a large language model trained by Google. Okay, thanks. So you are dumb. I love it.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes. No,
but they're not perfect.
They're not. They're not even close, Neil. They're constantly hallucinating. Constantly. Yeah. Every day I'm doing my morning pep. You see me because we're in the morning as well.
You also complain about it more than most.
Yeah, I do. Because look, with humans, I don't like to repeat myself. If I say something once to you, I expect you to listen the first time. I don't enjoy repeating myself in life. So that translates into how I deal with AI as well, Neil. What
does it translate into?
It translates in how I deal with AI, right? Like if you're not getting it right the first time, I'm gonna get agitated. Very funny. I was like, what is he talking about? I'm right beside him. All right, let's look at LIDAR for a second.
It's over now, bro.
It's over. I'm gonna get what? Can't hear you. Remind me again from now on going forward. I just know it. I shouldn't have told him that. No, but LIDAR is on the warpath, guys. But here we go. A topping tilt into 536. The best print I have is 34s. But this feels now, if we make a candle to make a new low, this could be the beginning of a reversal, or what we call, what Obi likes to call the reversion. So be on the lookout here. Here we go. We just made a new low on this current candle. We're losing 5 right now. I've taken out the majority of the position, thankfully. I've got a few shares left. We're going to hold on to this one, break even. I got 64s on, but the good news is my entry price is above the 10 EMA. The 10 EMA now show me 1075. So What I'm thinking about doing is waiting for that 1075 retracement and then adding to this position. Okay, this has been very respectful. I'm talking about LIDR. It's been quite respectful of the 10 EMA on the 5. As you can see here, top left of your screen, where it says LIDR, it's been basically above the 10 EMA all day, albeit this is the biggest candle retracement on the day. So it requires a little bit of respect. You know, keep a look at it. It doesn't have to find support at the 10 EMA. It could be a reversion. So what I'm looking at for here is a 10 EMA retracement. I'm going to add small size on that 10 EMA retracement. If it holds up there, I can add back on the way up. Okay, I don't have to get the full position at the 10 EMA and then give back a lot of profits. Add to your positions. That's one thing Joey's been doing. That's one thing I've been really trying to mimic from Joseph, is to add into winning positions. He's quite good at it. So I'm going to be looking to do that here. So let's go ahead and we're going to throw a small share size in the low 70s over here. I'm just going to wait at 75, even though 75 is not the technical level. I'll front run it. So that's what I'm looking for on LIDAR, guys. This one's a big mover on the day. It's up 67%. It's got a catalyst. It's had a catalyst. It's a second day runner. So it's not a trade de novo. It's not a new trade. We've been watching this for a while. And so if it keeps going like this, you know, one thing that I talk with the boys about is that.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
What's a trade de novo?
Oh, it's really bougie. I pretend like I'm smarter than I am, Neil. And so de novo means new in Latin.
Okay.
So it's a new trade, like in the sense that it wasn't running in the pre-market. Okay, I just got the ad here at 75. So let's see if this one holds up at the 75 penny level, okay? This is the 10 EMA on the 5.
Get it.
Anything below 60, we're gonna risk 9 pennies on the remaining amount. So let's go ahead and throw in the stop there. 459 will be the stop. And then we'll give it to 50s. And I'm gonna post orders. And there it goes up again. And now I'm gonna post at 88s. It's showing me 85s. There's a seller here at 85. We'll wet the beak there as well. Let's see if we can get something on this ad. I'm also gonna post in the 90s, the low 90s. There's that 85 seller again. So someone's short here at 85. We can't shake them. Now they're posting at 84. Watch for that ass creep, right? As it drops down, it was rejecting 85. Now it's rejecting 84. Be on the lookout for that. That is kind of how the short sellers show their hand. Buy the level 2. Let's see if this one can bounce up anything below 59s. Neil, I'm Gonzino.
Absolutely, Gonzino. I heard of something else when you said ask.
It's hard. It's hard when you're speaking so fast.
Ask.
Yeah, I see the chat there. Huh? Immediately, Neil.
No, but
immediately.
I'll be straight up. I'm one of those people. If I don't know something, I'm just gonna ask. I don't care. Ask. If I don't know something, that's just straight 100%. But Tesla. Look, we know Tesla is squeezing at this moment. Come on, where's that high of the day? Alphabet's got something happen at 194. I'll just throw down the black chart because I want to hold it on Tesla for a minute here. 194 has been a problem for Alphabet. I'm still bidding down to get more at 93. If we come back down there, great, fair enough. But look at all the rejection up at this 194 level. We get up there and put in another topping tail. I'm going to jump out of that trade and just take the profit and look for another long down around the volume weighted average price. But Tesla continues to go absolutely parabolic. 320 is going to, at this rate, it feels like 320 is just going to happen. So as we approach it, there haven't been any red candles to be able to get back in. VWAP is flat out just not going to happen without something incredibly extreme. So I feel like the only way to get into this is to watch it maybe on a lower time frame. I'm going to put up a 1-minute chart. Oh, my side chart, I'm going to put up a 1-minute chart, but I like a 3-minute. And I'm going to look for any kind of a dip and rip signal on a 1-minute chart, which could happen at any second. But this Google cannot seem to go at any point through that 194. It's almost losing the bid again. Don't love what I'm seeing from Alphabet. I wanted it to break away from 194. I know Sean was looking for that too as well. And really it was just the dip buy in a 91 that you should have had. The other thing I want to pay attention to for everybody out here, if you've been watching the show, you know that I like trend lines. So even when I'm looking at a 1-minute, like look at the trend on the 1-minute. Like it's holding this, and this is since the morning breakout around 315. So 315 would have been your morning top. There's your break away from it. There's your new line of best fit or trend line, whatever the heck you want to call it. And it's now closing right above it. So losing 318 now would be losing the trend on the 1-minute. closing this one above gives me a place to get long in front of 318 with a 318 stop. That way I can have a tight stop. Now that I'm saying it, I'm going to jinx it and it's going to go down. That's just how things work. But hopefully I want it to close above the trend line. And I can be long with a stop at 318 into 320. That way I'm not punching 320 because I don't want to take the breakout this time of day. SBET, despite the fact that ETH is coming back up, SBET's holding flat. So I do like the fact that the market is trying to bounce and it's really not going against me. All right, one last chance, Alphabet. This is your chance.
Do it, Alphabet.
It's its chance to get through 194 here. Here, I can show you where we're at here. I mean, Tesla's not really doing much of anything. I can go right back over to Alphabet. Ooh, again, I just clicked in the wrong place again. It's been happening to me all morning. I'm literally clicking the wrong. I'm staring at the chart that I need to click on to call up the symbol, and I'm literally just in the wrong spot. That's what happens. I just went to cancel this order because it's not VWAP, and I again clicked the wrong spot.
Are you able to cancel? I remember Katina telling me that you can activate Chart Trader.
There is chart trading,
is, right? And
there's click to trade. There's chart trading if you want. I just find you do what you're used to.
Fair.
I don't want to be sending a bunch of orders through the chart when I'm used to clicking on a level 2.
Makes sense.
So again, that's just for me. Oh, there it is. It's doing it again. I told you guys what would happen if we get another topping tail. And it looks like we're getting another topping tail wick on Alphabet.
All right.
So I'm jumping out of it. Well, I'll get out of it 193.8. It goes VWAP and tries to break 194, but I don't mind just taking the scalp trade at this time of day. I think that's what you have to do, and then move on to an entry potentially in Tesla. Woo, look at that rinse. They just rinsed 318. They just lit grabbed 318. Oh, wow. Big time.
That's bullish engulfing right there. That's that's really good.
Maybe I should just take a 319 break and see what happens.
Okay, guys, let me just put SMX. Shout out to, SMR is breaking out too, but SMX is obviously more my wheelhouse. All right, guys, so here's the deal. At a LIDR, so we got stopped out for the last remaining amount, and then this one did have a seller at 85, as I mentioned to you. So I did get long once that 85 seller got taken, but I'm now seeing almost very substantial size at every penny, 88s, 90s, 91. So this has become very thickly traded at this level. Now, it doesn't mean it's all over for LIDR. Quite the contrary, I would submit to you. Why? Because it's still actually higher, the price action that is, above my shortest moving average, which is the 10. It's still holding the 10 quite well. In addition to that, it's generally around that $0.75 area, which sometimes acts as both support and resistance. So I don't have to be first into this trade. It's got a 536 high. So if you're assuming we just make it back into the high of the day, well, that leaves quite a bit of buffer between the breakout level here, which is about 5, and that 36 high. In addition to that, there's no hard and fast rule that says this thing is capped at 536. We can certainly take out the high of the day. We have multiple times today. So LIDR, for the moment, I'm done this trade, but I'm happy with how I traded it. My only really regret here was how I didn't have size posted far enough into 5. So this one spiked into 536, and I had to kind of chase it. I should really be putting in resting orders if I'm not using hotkeys for these small cap gappers. My strategy is to have resting orders at key areas because it's just super hard to catch them when they're flying through levels like that, and they don't spend that much time at any one price level, and anybody who's traded these kind of knows that that's the case. So now we've got another 5-minute candle here, and it's got a higher low. It doesn't quite have a higher high yet. So I'm watching here LIDR for a possible entry again, especially if we can clear 5. It's holding the 10 EMA quite well. This is a nice setup right here, but it's not guaranteed because we still are below this area crest. So long as you're below that area crest, you're in danger of making a lower high. That's always my concern. So yeah, you find support initially at the 10 EMA. It looks great with a hammer candle that closed green, blah, 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 blah. You're still a lower high. So be on the lookout. It's never guaranteed. Now, shout out to my other pair of eyes, AKA Bhavin Patel, in the chat, bringing to my attention SMX. And aside from the fact that it's only traded about 8 million shares on a dollar name, I happen to like this pattern, Bovin. And the reason is this seems very bull flaggy to me, right? There's the breakout from the low at around $1.14, $1.15. You pop all the way up into 160. And now we're doing a compression pattern where you're getting lower highs, but you also have higher lows. And so what we're looking for here is two things. One, support at VWAP, we got that. Double bottom into VWAP, found a support, followed by subsequent candles to make newer highs. So check there. Now, what about that 10 EMA? In fact, we're above the 10 EMA right now. So check there. How about higher lows and higher highs on the successive candles? If we take out 46, that will take out a triple top. And we just took it out. So now it's time for me to go long on this. Let's see if we can get, oh, it's not even letting me in, so I have to chase it. It's a 1 penny spread, bro. There we go. So now we got 47s. Let's post up at 50s, and then we'll layer orders possibly into the high of the day. What gets me out of this trade? What gets me out is a loss of VWAP. A loss of VWAP is below that $1.35, and there's a $1.49 already. Now it's just going to be whether or not the short sellers are going to insist that selling at the $0.50. We just popped up into the $0.50. We couldn't take out the short seller or the sellers there. Who knows if they're short sellers? There's 50 again. Barely any size posted on the gateways you can actually see, but it's always the hidden sellers. The iceberg orders that keep us down. They rarely will show their hand. And so boom, we take them out, Neil. Let's see if we can get 52s now here on SMX. Shout out to my other pair of eyes, Bovin Patel.
Bovin.
Get it, Bovin.
What I love about is that some of the traders and some of the viewers, they're just different. So like I'm not used to seeing some of the names, which is really cool. There's some that I recognize, which is fantastic, great. Sometimes from the aftermarket show. Let's quickly go in. I did have the break on Tesla. They said we'd take this one if it held on to that trend, but immediately those stupid sellers came right in and sort of rinsed it back through the trend line, which we'll see if it respects it. It was a quick scalp trade, but it never really, it couldn't take the $0.50, which it's trying to do now. While that was happening, I've tried to re-engage because now all of a sudden you have something different happening with Tesla breaking and continuing higher and Rivian going down. So this is more or less what I wanted to see. So I'm trying to I tried to jump in here to the south side. I'm still hoping I'll get picked up because I feel like Rivian's breaking trend while Tesla's continuing to go higher and higher and higher. Someone just said, I believe Google will break the 191. I'm of that plan too. I think Alphabet's going to break 194. Did I say 191? 194. Yeah. 194. That being said, I just did it again. I just hit escape while I'm clicking on the chart. You guys watch me do that. The volume weighted average price, I don't want to get this on the way down. I feel like taking it on the upward trend is going to make a little bit more sense. Yes, I want it to break 194. I think it can break 194. I think the quarter was good, all that nonsense. It doesn't really matter what I think can happen. Right now, there's a brick wall in front. So when I'm going long off VWAP, I'm selling into it, and no matter what. And I might hold on to a piece if it looks a little stronger than the last time, but I'm going to look for that re-entry off the volume weighted average price. Zoom in so you can see that better. We had it when it broke the trend before. There's no real trend here down. I'll just wait for it to make some kind of a rounded bottom there. But eventually, SBET had to go. Like, the whole time ETH was trying to bounce, SBET wasn't going anywhere. I'm like, okay, well, that's good. It could be another leg down. But this is what we always talk about. And if anyone's watching for the first time, someone's like, did you get stopped out? I'm like, if I have a strategy and show you where my stop is and tell you where it is, you just simply not go, unless I make a mistake, you are not going to see me deviate from that very often. So like when my stop is this prior bar on a trend, that's where I'm getting out. It's that simple. That broke, my order got me out, no questions asked. 10 times out of 10, I might be missing this Rivian train. I can't chase this because I think a lot of what I'm looking for is a pullback into VWAP on Rivian. So if I try to chase this move down into 30, suddenly you're 10 cents from the goal, you're 15 cents from the high. That's no bueno. So I got to hope to get picked up here on Rivian because I really don't want to force. I mean, Tesla, I could just try to short Tesla off 320 if I don't given that I'm not into Rivian in here. for sure. And Zion Lala.
Get it,
yeah,
Zion.
the change is for a day. Like, I'm coming in because Joe wanted to be able to leave early today so that he could head out to a bachelor party. They're having a fun weekend, and he just wanted to be able to head out. I said, I don't mind jumping in, so I'll be doing the midday and I'll do the close show like normal.
We should have.
I just thought of something.
We should have given him a hard time.
Well, I'm going to give him a hard time about something.
We know he's hitched up, right? And now he's going to a bachelor party.
Well, what's wrong with that?
I'd like to make him feel uncomfortable, if that's okay.
You want to make him feel uncomfortable?
Absolutely.
Look, man, it just occurred to me now when I said that out loud that I'm doing the midday and then coming back for 2 o'clock.
Oh.
When's a brother supposed to eat? Y'all know I'm always hungry.
Look, I think you should be able to take some time. Maybe I can do like the lesson of the day and you can get some food in.
Oh, I will be eating on the midday show.
Okay, that's fair.
Because when else am I supposed to eat? Straight up. I'm going to eat on the I'm sorry, everybody, but you're gonna have to watch me eat because I'm not going to 4 o'clock without eating. I don't eat. I do like time restricted eating to a certain extent, and so I don't have anything till about 8 o'clock in the morning.
Fair.
And then even then I don't have much. So suffice to say, when it gets to noon, I'm a little hungry. That's why you always see me like munching on this. I'll have my the fruit in the morning. All right, Tesla's making a bit of a curl. I didn't get Rivian. I'm looking over. I'm not going to get Rivian. So Tesla's clearly, I mean, look, on a 3-minute, it broke. I tried to take this as it was wicking the trend there. I tried to grab it and play that long. It's not working, so I am now in the short. The prior bar high is simply the high of the day. So that makes it very, very easy for everyone to figure out where I'm going to be getting out of it. I should almost be adding to. I wish I could have something a little bit tighter to 19. So I don't want to chase too far. I'm just going to get an order out a little bit closer to the 19 level and see if we can't get some evens in there. So just in Tesla as we speak, but Gavin just said bulls at high of day. I wanted to go back because as I got out of SBET and saw it running, ETH just did that.
What?
ETH just broke the low of the day. Where is SBET?
Where is ETH?
Can I get back to this?
ETH is down 3.5. It's more than Bitcoin. Solana's tanking, Neil. 6% on Solana.
No,
We're really dropping here on some of crypto names.
I got to jump right back into this trade.
All right, let me show everybody exactly. So as you organize.
When I say this trade, I mean SBET because I got out of SBET and just tried to break up. But if ETH is going down, then I got to be right back into this trade.
Guys, crypto is really taking a hit here. I wanted to mention this over here. Let me just expand this. So BTC down 3. We're barely holding on to 115. ETH, oh my God, we're going to lose 3,600, down 3.5. Solana already down below 180. It's down 6% on Solana. I don't know what XRP is at. When I did check today, XRP had taken the biggest hit in the last little while. So be on the lookout for that. Keep your eye on crypto. If you're looking at maybe shorting some of these names, you can take some derivatives like IBIT or ETHA, for example, ETH. Is there a Solana ETF now? Or, fact check me, chat. Is there a Solana ETF that I don't know about? I'd love to know about it if you guys.
SOLZ?
SOLZ? Don't say Z, Neil. They get very upset. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. SOLZ.
Oh, that does 0 volume. You can't trade that.
Yeah, it's 500,000.
I mean, we could trade it. It might even be blocked in our system.
Let's give it a try. Let me try it. I'm going to try it super quick over here, see if we can weasel into it. I want to keep
it's blocked.
It's blocked? Yeah, okay, it's fine.
The volume, so just for anybody out there, like one of the things that happens at real trading, Tesla, it might break that run at the high of the day. You know where my stop is. It's essentially just a penny or two above that high of the day. But if the stock doesn't have enough regular volume, that didn't break the high, did it? Yeah, it must have. It must have broken the high. Like barely broke the high there on Tesla. Only go long, apparently, everybody. Went long 3 times and only 1 short, and that's where the L's going to be on Tesla. Let's see what happens at that 320 level. I don't mind taking another breakout trade, but up here, everything's going to be tight stops looking for a home run. Like VWAP is $6 away. If you get it good, then you only really need the 1 trade. But it doesn't mean I want to hold it super far against me. But just to finish that thought, if there's not enough liquidity or regular liquidity on a given on a given symbol or on a given, it could be equity, it could be in this particular case we're talking about ETH.
SOLT. 2.5
SOLT,
shares
that's better.
open for us. It's two times leverage, though. Be careful.
What'll
Yeah,
happen
two
is
times, yeah.
when you're trading on a prop floor, you have a lot of leverage. Like your buying power would be very large. So therefore, your ability to throw a massive order is there, and you get that big risk. Well, there's a downside to that. If the stock doesn't have any liquidity, you could find yourself getting into a position that you could take all day to unwind, or you might not be able to unwind. So certain symbols will get blocked for that reason.
I think that's fair, especially when you're dealing with somebody else's money. I mean, they have the right to manage risk, right?
I could tell stories, but
I bet you can. Neil was a floor manager, in case you guys don't know, for a long time. So he's seen some stuff.
I've seen some. Well, the thing about it is traders, if you've traded for a long time, then you should have some serious stories.
That's fair.
Because that's just the reality. That's why sometimes you'll see me drop into, oh, and this happened on this day, and I remember the flash crash, and like I've seen a single stock flash crash that was simply created by one group of idiots.
Really?
As well. Oh yeah, just on a small cap. It was a smaller cap stock. And what happened was you had some people that thought that they were like the big wigs on it. And don't get me wrong, when I traded penny stocks, there was actually myself and another trader that I traded next to.
Okay.
There were months where we were 10% of the volume.
What?
On a penny stock. Yeah, back in the day.
That's crazy.
But these weren't doing like 100 million shares. No, we weren't like that. They would do like 4 or 5 million shares.
Okay.
Maybe 10 million, something like that. But there were traders that were doing similar things on some maybe a little bit bigger stocks, but they were all trading a similar strategy and all averaging down. And what ended up happening, and they didn't realize this, there was just a whale that wanted to unload this thing.
Oh boy.
And
they were the
they were the recipients of it. And took down an entire trading floor in a single day.
You did tell me about this.
I think I told you.
You did tell me about this.
In a single day.
The conclusion of the story reminded me of the story that you told me. Yes.
And that just came down. It's one of the reasons you have a rule like that, because just because you have the buying power doesn't mean you should deploy it. Like Tesla has 61 million shares here, everybody. You were never gonna. There's almost no situation in which you're not going to be able to get in and out of this thing. Like if I get into a short, I can get out right away. I'm not going to get slipped. I'm not going to have any troubles with it. I should be just fine. But Tesla, wow, there's another wick at 320. Ooh, hold that 320.
Maybe.
The other thing that's coming in is if we fail under 320, this might give me my chance to get into that Rivian, and then I can use the lower high on Rivian and Tesla's momentum. SBET's still kind of going sideways, but we're back under the 320 here on Tesla. Ooh, man. Tesla is absolutely rocketing. What's crazy is I'm eyeballing this 320 level, and you're seeing a bit of a battle going back and forth. Let me just throw up the level 2 so you guys can follow along here. And there's an absolute war. Well, we'll see if it's still happening. Just a war going on at that 320. And of course, now they're not buying it back up through. What was happening before is anytime it would get underneath 320, it would snap back up almost instantly. That just spent a few seconds down there underneath the 320 level, and they're starting to hold it up. But it's all D prints. This is all dark pool. Like there's someone just sold there. You can see kind of came in like a real order. Everything else is dark. Someone just sold again on some weak gateways, and then eating right back up on the dark pools who are winning the battle up here. So, yeah, they just rinsed. They just rinsed somebody, because what you can see is all dark buying and then a couple of lit sells, yet somebody that is a real trader just got bamboozled out of their long, or maybe just tried to short from what I can tell at 320, and they're temporarily stuck. That's what it just looked like to me on level 2.
Guys, someone who I want to shut them out. Jameson, can you look at MCVT today? I was a day early. Here's what I see, man. MCVT, you know that I have 2 rules and 2 rules only for these small cap gappers. This breaches one and passes the other. The one that it breaches is the pre-market high rule. I will not trade a small cap gapper long if it is trading below the pre-market high. That means, to me, it means the sellers are in control and the bag holders could still be there. I don't want to base that. And the short sellers also look for that pre-market high. If I'm looking for it, they're looking for it. So here's what I see. I see a 450 pre-market high. I see an actual high of day, a regular trading hours high day of 380. So this is above VWAP, but below the pre-market high. Those are literally my two rules. Oh my goodness, look at SMX, Neil. Boom, into the high side. Goodness gracious. What's happening? Why am I not able to take out anything? There we go.
Sometimes they don't let you.
So frustrating. Okay, so there we go. I didn't get the fill, Neil. It came in for like 1 second, 1 penny below. That is so frustrating. I really tried to get more share size there. It missed me by 1 penny. I don't know why I was under the impression I got it filled there, but there goes SMX, guys, through the high of the day, 175. What a rocket ship, flat top break, ascending wedge, predictable higher low, higher low, higher low. All the while, that 152, 153-ish was our area of resistance, and then up through that we go when we take out the high. Keep your eye out on SMX. Shout out to my man Bovin in the chat for pointing this one out. It's still going, guys, so this one is on the warpath to the high side. Try to catch the momentum as it goes. Don't be a schmuck like me and fumble with the keys. That's very frustrating on my part, but hey, that's exactly what happens. So SMX doing its thing, 25. Now,
Did you zoom out that stock?
Pardon me?
SMX, if you zoom that one out, this
daily.
has a big time double set of topping tail candles
trouble.
at 180
That's
to 185.
Right there. That's trouble, yeah.
Like that's the first, I always like to zoom out. Like this 185 level, that would be a place I'd usually look for a mean reversion. But I might look at it. If you're watching Tesla and to me trading Rivian off of Tesla, then I have to keep Tesla up. I don't have a level 2 to dedicate to that one. I sort of have to stay in a single lane. So Tesla, that battle that was happening, I got one at 320 a little bit there, and it's now starting to come back in. That did give me an entry into Rivian. Again, like type it in. Enter in the right spot, Neil. Rivian came right back to the shelf that broke. I missed entries here on the way down at 14.39. I was able to get some 36. I want to get out in front of VWAP again with a relatively tight stop underneath the lower high here. SBET's doing the same thing. But Jack CW, how would you treat a potential SMCI recent high break?
Good question, actually.
Oh, but it hasn't broken this high. This 54. Are we talking about this on the Jack? Are we talking about this on the daily? Like this 54 change? Because like I take it one step at a time. And if it's going into this resistance level and 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row when it got to 54 it rejected, then my first thought is look for a reversion short, worry about the breakout after, because it needs to have buyers above 54 to be going, not at 54. Because it's getting to 54, it's just completely rinsing you if you go long off of 54. So my first approach is to look for a mean reversion trade in front of it, and then maybe break out above the quarter or break out above the $0.50, maybe even 55, something along those lines. I think that's where I'd be headed on SMC. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. That's I don't know if that's the level you're mentioning, but if you're saying breakout on SMCI, I'm not sure what else we could be talking about here outside of that 54 levels. That would be my 2 cents. I might throw that on, if I can find a side chart, I might throw that one up there. SBET, we re-entered to it when I saw ETH was going to the downside. This is just not moving much anymore. I'm literally bidding, I guess I could bid at 22 instead of under to see if it'll break. Get a 90, get a bid into the 90s, and then you get a bid into the 80s. If it's only going to move that much, then I'm going to respect the fact that it only wants to move that much. So let me know what else you guys are watching in here, because I saw Kelvin GTS mention Coin. You know, I haven't looked at Coinbase today. And Coin is about to go green. You have this weird divergence that's happening. Like, we weren't all that strong in most of crypto. You know, ETH is still heading back into the downside.
Bizarre, eh?
But yet you've got Coin's got a bottoming tail and is breaking out. So one of these things is built.
You know what?
Is built like the other, but not like the others.
I don't mind the disassociation between the miners or the. You know what I mean? If I want to punch into the coin, Neil, I'll punch into the coin. I hate that with Bitcoin and the Nasdaq. We always complain about that, the correlation between the two.
I don't mind it either.
I personally don't mind that whatsoever. So, guys, I want to mention here SMX. So I got back in at 64s, and now we're going to stop out for the rest. So this one I tried to catch back on the move up, punched in 64, scalped up to 70, but this one doesn't have the juice, and I'll tell you why. Here's what I'm seeing on the 5-second chart. Entertain my just craziness for a second. So that's where we got up into 75. And then we pop back down only to find support at a predictable level. Why do I say predictable level? Because 60 was a resistance area. Look out, holds to the T. But that was the good news. The bad news was we rejected 70. So that's a lower high. Pick up on these micro trends. The only way to do that is to be like, have an eidetic memory like a Dara and look at the level 2, or you pay $100+ a month for Bookmap, or just use the 5-second chart where you can refer back to it at any moment in time and see where the buyers and sellers were stepping in. So that's what I saw, 175, 170, lower high. I don't want that smoke, so we'll get stopped out now. If it wants to take out 175, we can have a different conversation. So SMX, looking good, but catching some resistance here to the top. So I'll be keeping my eye on that. Neil, I also want to mention LIDR. So this one topped out at the highs, and it has been stair-stepping back down. It's lost the 10 EMA. It's lost the 20 EMA. The only thing really standing in its way right now is VWAP. You're dead. Is VWAP, nice. Which is at 4.25.
Over here, like.
You gotta send a message to these guys, Neil.
Let them know.
Yeah, we gotta let them know, man. They can't be messing around while we're on the show over here. So what I'm looking at, guys, is this 4 1/3, 4 1/4. We have price action resistance from there initially, so look for it to act as support. In addition to that, you also have the volume weighted average price taking a nap down there. 4 1/4. LIDR, 4 1/3. We're already in a 4 1/3. So now we're in the zone, that 1/3 to a 1/4 zone. It's never going to be really one price level with these crazy small cap gappers. They're just too volatile. So be on the lookout now. LIDR coming into a technical area of support. Does it though find support here, or are we going to give back the entire move? Guys, the loss of the 10 EMA at the 11:45 candle, which is this candle right here, that was the first time LIDR lost the 10 EMA on the 5 on a closing basis all day. Okay, so there could be a move down here. I thought Ramram was freaking out or something back there. Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Get it, Ramram. Oh my God.
Team Ramin.
Oh wow, really, eh, Neil?
Well, I'm
still going with that.
Still going. I've always been Team Ramin.
Wow.
Right, Ramin?
Don't throw anything at me, man.
We had a discussion about this, and I simply said,
is Brendo up there?
I said, Ramin, if you're gonna throw something at Sharif, throw something real. Like it's gotta, don't hurt him.
But if it's real, it's gonna clip me.
You're tough.
Oh boy,
he's a strong dude. I think he'll be.
If it went the other way around, I'd be walking out of here in some, right? You know
what I tell the kids at batting practice?
What do you tell them?
I said, look, here's the thing.
Okay.
If you're scared to get in the box, and if coach accidentally hits you, then we can do this. If I hit you, then at the end of practice, I will stand in the box. I'll have a bat in my hands that I will not swing. Okay. And you can stand at the mound, and you can just throw, and I will not swing, and I will not move out of the way. And the funny thing about it, the only kid that took me up on it was my daughter.
No way, because she trusts you.
What do you mean trust me? She's
throwing it at you. She knows Daddy's not gonna get me back if I hit him with the ball, right?
She got me a couple times. She got me a couple times.
I love that.
Which is fine. But I was just trying to, because you can't be afraid of the ball, and you want one of the biggest things, and this is true in a lot of aspects of life. Being able to just stand in the fear of getting hit, or being able to buy the dip in front of what looks like a freight train, but you like the level. You just got to be able to do it sometime. So at that age, because our kids are all 7 or 8 years old on the team, for a lot of them, it's their first year playing.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to get them to stand in the box without moving their feet when the pitch comes.
Absolutely, man. Is it fastball?
So
Softball?
this is it's coach's pitch. We play one inning of tea,
Okay.
and then 2 innings of coach pitch.
pretty cool.
And then you do an inning of tea, and it goes back and forth.
I like
'cause
how you do
they're
both.
coming from t-ball, and the reason you do some of it is it's at an age where a lot of people are starting. So at the beginning of the year, we had kids who had never swung a bat before.
fair.
So to expect them to be hitting without the tee is crazy.
No.
But now everybody on our team can hit, because we get people out to practice. And I had this discussion with one of the coaches as well. Like, at our game, you don't keep scoring until the tournament at the end. That's the way the league works.
Okay.
But our kids always keep scoring. And we waxed the last team we played.
Really?
Like, we had like 3 home runs, legitimately, like they're hitting it over the outfielders and past them and then just running, whatever.
Right.
And the other team wasn't as advanced. And one of the other dads was like, man, you guys really have it together. Our kids are like cheering.
There's a reason for that.
They're on the bench and
Yeah.
they're cheering the name of the person at bat.
You're kidding.
And then they're like, wow, you guys. I'm like, well, we have kids, we have like 80% attendance at practice the last 2 months.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
been
there you go.
fantastic. So like that's
You've
what we're
earned
able to
that.
teach, because you can't really teach as much while they're playing.
That's fair.
And once they start to learn, they absolutely love it. And
All right,
you have to try to build that. Anyways, we can get back to trading.
We gotta do this, Neil, over here.
we go?
Looking to trade futures, guys, like the Nasdaq, the S&P, or even Bitcoin. Well, guess what? Top One Futures is one of the fastest growing prop firms out there. They give traders a chance to manage up to $1 million in capital, and you pick your own path. You can choose instant funded, you can choose the challenge account, or even the pro account, and start trading your way to real payouts and even a live account. And guys, just in the last 90 days alone, they paid out over $10 million and earned 1,000 plus 5-star reviews from real traders just like you. So if you're interested, use that discount code, super simple, TTV, to save on any account. Scan that QR code or head on over to top1futures.com and start trading your way to your next payout. Shout out to Top One Futures.
I don't think my new service is working right now.
What's going on?
Well, but something's going on with HIMS.
Okay, let me have a look.
HIMS is down $5 in
What?
one candle.
Price spike. I'm getting price spike as well,
that
Neil, but
is
I'm not
not
seeing
good.
anything on it. Guys, if you're seeing it in the chat, tag myself or Neil. I'm seeing the alert that it's dropping like crazy, but I'm not seeing anything to account for it right now. Big time move here in HIMS.
Here we go.
Go ahead.
Lawmakers press FDA to target compounded fake GLP-1 drugs.
Well, it's ridiculous
So that's
out
going
there,
to
man.
punk them.
Yeah.
What is Lilly doing on that? Because obviously,
Good point.
Lilly with
Great point.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's going to be
100%, dude.
got to go to the real.
Yeah.
That's going to be good for Lilly and bad for HIMS. But let's see what the action is saying. Right now, they're still selling it off down into 55. Yuckity yuck. Look, HIMS is a momentum stock. What's crazy about, oh my goodness. What's crazy about this is it's actually going to be pulling back into prior high support, because it was like buyers at 52 like crazy on this sucker. And if it gets anywhere near there, I'm not saying it gets to 52. I'm just kind of pointing out that if it does, that would be a nice little place to try to hit the buy key. All right, Tesla's going ham again.
Jeez.
I just got to quickly pivot.
Yeah.
So we gave you guys this story here, and we'll go back because HIMS is probably going to move a ton. But I just saw Tesla bounce back through 320, and it seems like Rivian doesn't want to go all the way to view up. So it'll just have to be this scalp trade in here. We're able to get in, tried to add to it at 37, 38, but that was on the way down, so only got the trade on the way up. But if Tesla's breaking highs, then Rivian might hold on to this low instead of getting all the way to the volume average price. You gotta try to pick your spots here, and I don't want to be fighting all of these EVs. And as I said, Tesla back through that 320 and continuing its ridiculous upward trend. What an absolute beast. But yeah, HIMS is trying to bounce here. It's trying. There it goes. Let's see.
It's like people are making these in the pharmacy, Neil. Like, they're compounding it by hand, dude. I mean, there's no quality control.
You got to do what they got to do. People try to do what they got to do. It's expensive.
It made sense when it was on back order, Neil. It's no longer on back order. You can't be throwing stuff together willy-nilly in the pharmacy and just people injecting it into their bodies. I get the people who are doing it are pharmacists, are trained, they're pseudo-chemists. I get all that whole shebang. But to me, if I'm putting something like that into my body, I want some quality control standards.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
I 100%. I 100% agree with you. 100%. But That being said, I like it for Lily.
Yeah, no, I'm not arguing about that.
It's my
That makes
number
pure
one
sense.
non-tech holding
Yeah, I know it is,
in my long-term account is Eli
boy.
Lilly. So, yeah.
That's a good
Hims,
look.
look, I have nothing against Hims in particular at all. So let's just get real. I don't. That being said, Google did come in there for me into the volume weighted average price, so I'll try to get to that. What I was looking at in this pullback is what happens as we get into the lows into VWAP. And if you can't hold through VWAP, I want it to calm down. Like, you're still in the post-news. If we slow down and sort of hold underneath the volume weighted average price, I might look to short that bad boy. Just because it's bad news, and if it holds the trend to the downside, it even broke an all-day long trend, you feel like there's probably some longs that might still be offside from the last couple of days buying those dips. And you have a supply zone clearly around here as well. From yesterday, there were sellers at the 57.5 to 58 level, and that would be underneath the volume weighted average price. So that's what I'm waiting for on HIMS, and I have to remind myself, is it free to short? Answer is yes. That was just me testing to make sure that it was free locates, because if you don't have Boros, believe it or not, you can't go short. At least you're not supposed to. And I could name some firms out there that are belly up right now because they broke those rules during the financial crisis.
Yeah. Well,
Sean and I,
take your own risks, man.
we are our top two traders on our floor. They both left us, and I couldn't even hate. They both left us for another firm, and one of the perks at that other firm at the time was they were shorting things that were not shortable. Eventually, that caught up with them, but in the moment, I couldn't even say anything. They were paying a higher percentage, and they were doing things allowing them to go short and make money where you couldn't.
How do you do that? Naked shorts?
Yeah, well, just didn't have the Boros. It's illegal. And like
I was going to say,
like
yeah,
I
how
said,
does
a
that
few
work?
years later,
Yeah.
it caught up with them, and they were done.
Okay.
But at the time, I remember when they approached us saying we're going to go, and I was like, you know what? Even if we match the percentage, you come in every single day, and there's things that we can't short.
Well, yeah.
That's just how it is. So anyways, we're coming into VWAP on HIMS. I'm going to eyeball this closely. By the way, I am in SBET, and SBET did just get to the low. I'm going to hold on to the last 20% to see if it'll flush even further. But eyes on HIMS as it is losing. It just lost under VWAP here, which is 57.40. If we close underneath, I'm going to take a pot shot at my first pot shot at shorting this sucker.
Okay, Neil. So here's the deal. SMX, we're doing it again over here, guys. Look, this was a pullback into the 10 EMA. I added at 52. Scalp, scalp, scalp out. We're almost out of our shares. We add again into 68. Scalp, scalp, scalp. And now we're 1 penny off the high of the day. But there has been a seller here of note at 74 that we just can't shake. And here we go. We're rejecting it again. I've been looking at the 5-second chart. We can't shake that seller. So what I'm concerned about here is we reject this area. So here's the deal. 168 and I'm out. So if it loses 168, we're gone, and we're going to get stopped out now as it drops down into 69. So we'll get out there. But I'm really happy with how this trade happened. So let me explain what the hell happened over here on SMX. So this was the candle that got me in. This one right here pulls back into the 10. And as soon as I saw it pull back into the 10, we punched. We scalped up into this area. And then I saw, I'm like, okay, if this candle here, the 1205 candle, makes a new high above the 12th candle, I'm going to add into this. I got some slippage. I tried to add at 67. I didn't get till 69, which I don't mind, right? Then we scalped up into 73s. We couldn't shake the seller at 74s. I had my order posted at high a day at 77. We couldn't shake them. Let's see if we can shake the seller at 75. Because guess what, man? SMX has one hell of an uptrend over here. Now, albeit it is $1, right? And we still really haven't broken above that, 60, 70%. We're still dancing around 50%. But this, if it clears $1.75, which it has a previous area of rejection before, it's got a bunch of higher lows. This could be kind of a pseudo flat top break. Keep your eye on SMX. It's continuing to go. By the same token, look at LIDR. You've got two hammer candles, bottoming tail candles into the volume weighted average price. That's the good news. What's the bad news on LIDR? You're not putting in higher highs. You got a higher low currently on this 5-minute candle, albeit barely, but what you need to see is not just support off the predictable area trend or predictable area support, excuse me, which is VWAP. You need to see trend change. In this case, we had a downtrend off that high today. Now you need to start seeing higher highs and higher lows. You're not seeing that quite yet. Doesn't mean you won't see it on LIDR. Be on the lookout for that. So that's what I'm looking at right now. LIDR, SMX, they've both been good to me today. Let's see what they've got. I also want to cover this one. MCVT. Why didn't I punch into this? Because I was concerned about those pre-market high people. Look what this thing did. 450 high a day. It dropped. And then when you guys told me about it, I started looking at it at VWAP. It caught a bid. I'm not saying it's not tradable. Just not under my system. I won't trade it. It catches a bid right off VWAP, rockets into an actual new high of day, pre-market included of that, 462 high. That is the pre-market high, above the pre-market high, as well as the regular trading hours high. And then it drops almost $1 right down to 370 in one 5-minute candle. Alas, it's still trading above VWAP. So if it can get above and stay above that 4.5, I'll get involved. But this is why I fear these pre-market highs, for exactly this reason. Okay?
Have no fear.
Have no fear. Look at that ugly topping tail, Neil. Ugly, ugly as hell.
You know what? Actually, I think you should have fear in trading.
You should have. Well, it keeps you sharp.
It keeps you sharp.
Yeah, I completely
It's
agree.
actually one of the most like.
It shouldn't
It's what you do with
debilitate
it.
you,
It shouldn't debilitate
Yeah,
you, but you
100%.
should you should have it. You should just not have it affect your decision, like your actual actions.
Agree.
But it is a good thing to have in a general sense, as long as you said like it's not debilitating.
And it's like in sports as well, especially like boxing, these combat sports, you need to have that like anxiety a little bit. Keeps you sharp, right? Like it keeps you tough in training, keeps you sharp in the fight. So yeah, all right, guys.
My goodness, Tesla. All right.
What are we doing?
I got to follow. This is me punching out. By the way, I'm going to take another shot at HIMS. I had 2 trades in HIMS. The first one was off the low, quick scalp out when a buyer emerged at the quarter mark. I had 50s to the quarters, but then I re-shorted it and it broke VWAP, so it broke that prior bar and I got out. I don't mind getting back in. That's the trade I'm hunting for as we speak. But I did just punch out a Rivian, and you'll say, well, why would you punch out of Rivian if it was still in the money? Well, because Tesla did that again. Tesla is just churning. Let me get rid of this trend line for you at this particular moment. I had a long off VWAP earlier for a scalp trade, and then I had a scalp win, scalp loss off the 320 area because it wasn't exactly 320. But suddenly, through the high of the day, it's got a very nice upward channel which is forming, and I cannot draw this there because it just made a new candle. But there you go. We're making higher highs and higher lows here on Tesla. So it really needs to break in either direction here on this. It's just super strong. And if I'm trading Rivian to the south side, whether it works or not, yeah, fine, the short worked. If Tesla's going, Rivian was going on sympathy. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to anticipate that Rivian is going to catch a bit of a bid off VWAP and maybe head toward the highs and jump out of the short. The other thing that's happening is PLTR just broke to 160. Look, that was gorgeous. Double bottom at the volume weighted average price, and then not quite breaking the high of the day because the high of the day was above the 160 level, but attempting to break that 160. It's now retaken the trend. It was doing nothing on that bull flag. So now that it's woken up, buy into the prior high is always the plan of action. Come on, Google. Google's trying to make a move off of the volume weighted average price itself, but as this comes back to 159.5, that's where I'm looking. It's this, it's HIMS, of course, that news that just dropped. And if you're, let me try it. I'll read it for you guys again. Essentially, where is it? Here we go. Let me try and find that news for you on HIMS. Because at the end of the day, if you were just tuning in for the first time, you're probably wondering what the you-know-what happened to HIMS. So essentially, there was a report indicating lawmakers were pressing the FDA to target compounded GLP-1 drugs. Eli Lilly up, HIMS down, essentially. That's all that happened there. Obviously, the move on Eli Lilly was nice, but then obviously HIMS fell a heck of a lot more then Eli Lilly was moving to the upside. So look, it just rinsed underneath or above the volume weighted average price. And so we get back underneath that 57. I'll take another shot shorting HIM to the S.
All right, guys, I'm looking at LIDAR again over here as that VWAP bounce is beautiful. It's 2 green candles in a row, each with higher highs and higher lows. In fact, it's 3 candles in a row now with higher lows because this red candle, the last red candle there on your screen, the subsequent candle has a higher low. So here we go with that 4.5. So I pulled up the 5-second chart again on LIDR on the top screen just so that I can see these micro areas of support and resistance. I've seen this story before though with these small cap gappers. They lose the 10 EMA from the north to the south side, and then they find support at some other area of technical support, in this case VWAP, right? Then they approach the 10 EMA, this time from the south to the north side, and they use the 10 EMA as resistance in the same way that they used it as support. I've been lured into this many times before, where I wait for that VWAP bounce, punch in, maybe not exactly at VWAP, a little bit before, but the distance, the price distance between VWAP and the 10 EMA on the 5 is just so close, there's really no room for profit there. So that's exactly what I'm seeing right now on LIDR. It's coming in to that 10 EMA on the 5 from the south to the north side, and I can't drag the screen. There we go, and look at this. It's using the 10 EMA now as resistance. So unless we decisively clear on a closing basis that 10 EMA on the 5 on LIDAR, I'm not getting involved. I just won't, okay? I've been lured into this many times before. So LIDR looking good, but it needs to look a little bit better. Let's go to SMX though, because SMX was another winner, and this one is continuing to put in higher highs and higher lows. There it is. Right back into that 175. There is a flat top brewing here at 175. I think the short sellers are going to get absolutely smoked on this. Let's punch in to this one, and I will work my position into $1.60. The reason I say that $1.60, that's the 10 EMA. So we've got 73s. There's 75. There's the high of daybreak right now. Good move into, let's post at 78 as well. There's 78. It's not crossing. Let's see if we can get the fill. And I'm also going to put, no, so we didn't get the fill at 78. Let's see if we can get a fill now at 78. There it is, 77s again. The short sellers coming in fast and furious on this one. Okay, we did get the 78 print. Nice. Now we're waiting at 82s. Let's see what we get here on SMX. We've been in this a whole bunch of times today. Let's post as well here so we can wet the beak. We're getting some selling here in the high 70s to be expected. This is a penny stock, so you're going to see layering of orders almost at every level. But I do want to defend this unless it really, really tanks and drops aggressively below that $1.60. So that's what I'm looking at right now. SMX, it's been a good one on the day, but it's got to take out a $1.80 so that we can really make our way into 200. We're only up 56%. And if you've seen these small cap gappers before, they can do triple digits quicker than you can drill through that hole. You know what I mean? So that's going to be the situation right now. Let's see if we can continue on our merry way. Now, the thing that I'm asking myself is, all right, so you like that $1.60 as support. Great, Sharif. You're in at 173 though. Do you flatten out at 173 if it loses it or loses support and then punch back in at 160? And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So we're going to take out that break even, come what may. And I'm going to wait in the mid-60s, mid to low 60s. So let's go ahead and wait at around 65. Oh, boo, it's already going without me. Crap. So we'll have to wait there for that one. So I'll wait out $1.65. Sorry, 1 second. $1.65. We're going to wait for that level to come in. So I'll post there at $1.65. It's losing the bid a little bit over here, Neil. So I'm going to keep my eye on this one. SMX keeps putting in higher highs.
It does, but I can tell you right now, the market is always putting in higher highs. The market is always putting in higher highs. It seems like every single day. And Canadian traders, at least the savvy ones out there, that are looking to boost their exposure can tap into the Nasdaq 100, the S&P 500, with Beta Pro 3X daily leverage ETFs featuring built-in hedging of FX, which is important these days. This aims to amplify short-term market moves, minimizing the impact of currency swings. So, whether you're feeling bullish or bearish, these ETFs are built for active day traders to take on the market, read the full risk disclosure.
Read it.
In the prospectus at betapro.ca before investing. Scan the QR code you see right in front of you.
Boom.
And shout out to Beta Pro. Not 3x leveraged is HIMS. Although there might be one. I think
There's
there is.
8 times Z.
I know, but I don't think we have it in our
can't.
system.
Yeah. Fair.
There is. I think it's 2x actually, but there's tons of these. HIMS is catching a bid, and you can see this. We took it instead of taking it on the wrong side of the V, we got back in at 57 or just underneath 57 on the right side of the V. But as you can obviously see, and anybody can see this here, it just held the same 55.8. So on the way back, I threw a bid to try to pick it up back through 56, and we'll get the scalp trade. So again, just 57, do out in front of 56. Had to wait until it calmed down, as HIMS seems to be catching a little bit of a bid off that negative news. I would venture that maybe Eli Lilly pulled all the way back. Eli Lilly was trending down, so it seems that big move, not a big move, but the nice bounce that it had in the volume weighted average price comes right back to where it was. I suspect that HIMS is not going to go all the way back toward its highs, but it's catching a bit of a bid. I'll jump out of the trade and then just sort of move on to the next, which had been in Alphabet off of the volume weighted average price. What's up with that wick? I'll zoom in. I feel like a jinx if I get rid of that wick. We're still bouncing off VWAP here on Google, but we're not breaking the 194. All these sellers here that have been winning on 194. We're going to be long into the 94, looking for that break continuously. Still hasn't happened. And I'm still in SBT, which it's tried to go. I mean, it tried to bounce. I was in it short when it wasn't moving. It stopped me, and then it kind of did a bit of a failed breakout, jumped right back in when it broke the next bar down. It just hasn't broken through the low of the day yet on SBET. And what you have to watch if you're watching... I'm watching SBET. You don't have to do anything. You do whatever you want. ETH is still trending down.
Get it, ETH.
It's made a nice low, but unfortunately, this is a bit of a down day for ETH. Super strong. It's been good. It's been a fun party. We know how it goes. It goes Bitcoin first, and everyone just sort of follows along.
There you go.
And then eventually that train runs to end. Oh, that being said, Solana's train ended sooner than the other.
It did.
Because ETH strength tends to, punk Solana a little bit. They haven't been very good.
No, they haven't
at all over in Solana.
It's been a tough one, Neil.
It's been rough.
Guys, SMX, oh my goodness, this is the gift that just keeps on giving. Multiple entries into this bad boy. 1 penny below my out, I'm gone. Currently 78 highs. We actually have the high of the day right over here. Okay, so now we're posting up at 77s. Now we're showing 74. So what happened over here? Remember, we added at 152, scalp, scalp, scalp out. And then added at 164, scalp, scalp, scalp. Added at 172, scalp, scalp, scalp. And so that's exactly what we're doing right now. SMX is on the warpath to the high side. It's not the biggest mover on the day, but predictably higher lows off the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. That's one thing. I want to point your attention to LIDR. I complained profusely about the 10 EMA acting as resistance to the top side once we lost it from north to south. That's over. That has changed. Now we're above it. Now we need to concern ourselves with the resistance that exists at this 470 area. Look at how many times we used 470 as support. In fact, I got in multiple times at that 470 level for exactly that reason. Now we're approaching that former area of support from the south side. This time, it acts as resistance. Resistance flips to support and vice versa, okay? If you're a newer trader, if you're experienced, you already know that, and I'm already telling you something you know. But that's not what we're doing right now. We're trying to make sure everybody understands. So what I'm waiting for here is a decisive clearing of that level, and then we can get involved possibly. While I wait for that, I'm going to continue to monitor my trade here on SMX. We're still having trouble here in the mid to low 70s with the short sellers. Despite the fact that the high of the day is 78, we're having a lot of trouble clearing this level decisively. What's going on over there, Katina, man?
Just real quick, guys, some people in the chat room. We're on $89 break there on the TQQ. So we're long right now on the TQQs. That is the stock market. And of course,
We put this all in the sticky note. There's the break right there on the weekly. So yeah, man, like I said, there's so many great opportunities all day here to trade. This Tesla right now, Sharif,
Yes, sir.
$17. Oh, we're long at 308 right there. And then we reloaded it by accident right there at the 50-period moving average. And then that goes all the way up into 322. So today is a good day. And I come back to hear my guy Neil over there celebrating Palantir. We're still long 156 right now on Palantir. So nice little move there. We just got a couple more out there near 160.
What's the plan for that one since I got you over here? Is that one going to stay in the long term for the next little while?
I'm not.
Okay.
I was thinking about getting some out maybe today again. I mean, up another 3%. I don't know. It's
Neil says don't do it.
Some dude told me never to sell at all time highs.
Yeah, I should. Yeah, I mean, I think you got to trim something out here with earnings coming through. We'll have to wait to see. But oh boy, good day alert happening. I mean, the market's been really super hot. So shout out to everybody that's out there trading. I know you guys are, Sharif anyways, trading some of those small cap names there. There goes Google. We really love that name as well here today. I think it's today where a lot of people were expecting maybe a free fall Friday type of thing. We didn't get great earnings obviously yesterday there. Google kind of fell back in. So did Tesla. But today is a new day, and the market keeps going up as we had the TQ trade, right?
How was it, Jim, brother?
It's pretty good. It's not too busy. It's really warm outside.
It's ridiculously
humid. Yeah, and it's really easy. Like to drive in today was only 30 minutes. Like there's a lot of, there's not too much traffic.
Fridays.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hot, man.
A lot of people
people
off.
want to stay home, especially the
today.
hybrid people.
There goes the market, by the way. Another new high as we are long the TQQQ. I mean, there goes Palantir. Forget about it. That one's gone. It's this trade. It's the futures right now. This is gonna be actually P&L. One is Palantir, two is Tesla, but these TQs. And again, I've only traded 4 names today. We'll go Google long right here as well. That's working out. We have Palantir right off the jump. That's what it is. The TQs is right there as well. And then Tesla. So 4 trades today for me. And I think that's the best way for me to continue my path because the more I trade, sort of over trading. Oh, wow, there it goes. The market's on fire. I got to go.
Good stuff there, brother. All right.
Market
Neil,
is flying. What do you got?
you know this one. We know it.
It's pretty. It's so pretty.
Look how he walks off the screen. It's so good. It's so good. There goes SMX into the high of the day, guys. This one is going. Shout out to Bovin. I'm seeing it, Bovin. You're talking about 185. It's selling into 185. There's a monster seller right now that's preventing this one from ascending above $1.85. Good look for SMX. It's now up 65% on the day. Where did we get involved in this thing? Initially at $1.46. Okay, so good look here. We're going to continue to watch this one. It's got green candles, plenty at the moment, okay? All with higher lows. I don't want to jinx it. I don't, but I'm going to say it anyway, Neil. This one's had fewer bamboozling entries and exits.
Why would you even say that?
I know. I shouldn't have done that. I jinxed it. Now
it's probably
turning.
literally at a big
It's going to turn.
resistance level too.
It is. That $1.85 is actually an important resistance level. So keep your eye out on SMX. And while you're waiting for that one to set up, or maybe you're not, maybe you're already involved in it, I want to bring your attention to this candle right here. As we kind of predicted, it rejected off that 475 area, drops all the way back down to 4.5. What's operative here is that we have an even area low on this current candle. Now, if this current 5-minute candle breaks 475 decisively, this could be another move up for LIDR. Be on the lookout for that. It already caught the VWAP bounce, and that was a great trade for whoever took it. I didn't take it. I didn't believe in it, just full disclosure. And I will believe in it more if we can take out that 470 level. So be on the lookout right now. LIDR, sorry, Neil, and SMX.
You just apologize for Yanni?
Yeah.
Speaking of believing it, remember when I punched out of the shorted Rivian because Tesla was continuing to go higher?
Yes, sir.
You know what it turns out? Believe it or not, and this is a complete shock to me, and I'm sure it's a shock to Randy.
Let's hear it.
You know Rivian is not Tesla?
It's really not.
Yeah, it's really not. No, I'm just joking. No, at the end of the day, I told you the reason I got into the trade was that over-under that Tesla did. So my entry was literally because Tesla made a turn, Rivian was at a lower high, bouncing. Let me just enter the trade because of what I saw on the tape in Tesla. So when I see the same thing in the other direction, I get out of the trade. That's sort of the thing. Like this was like, if you look at it, this doesn't even look like a moment that you would short Rivian. But
I
on the
actually
way
like
up,
that entry, man. That's a great entry.
no, I don't think
because
so. I
it's
think
lower highs after that. You got in a lower
no,
high.
but the same price here would be a good entry. Is my point. Like a normal entry
Fair.
would be like as it's curling.
Sure.
But I simply got in because
of the
Tesla looked
tape.
like it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
turning
Okay.
and it was coming to the upside. What am I? I don't get rid of this. I don't need that line. But anyways, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, as long as you have a reason for your in and your out, that's where everything starts. Google's trying to bounce. I want to come back to SBET. As long as nothing distinct happens that's positive, going over in ETH, then I want to hang on to this through the low of the day. Like right now, down 7%. It's just bouncing off the lows. We've already taken some out in front of the lows of 21.5. So let's see if it breaks the bottom. I can see this continuing and just abjectly flushing. The last couple of sessions, if you look at what's happening on SBET, the last two sessions, like it tries to go early, and when it broke the trend, it really held short the whole day. So I'm seeing it like that. If I've got the curl, like it's almost like if I got this move, let's see if it holds through the low of the day, and then I'd get out if it fails and comes back through. So I want to try to hold on to this short because the pattern tells me that it could just go short the rest of the session. PLTR is making that break, trying to hold that 160 level there. So this is the first time you've now got buyers that are trying to hold it above the 160 level for the first time. I know it didn't get to the volume weighted average price just there on that pullback. It actually held the $0.50. So I guess we got to go for the $0.50 if we're not going to get anything deeper on Palantir. And Tesla, the volume is tremendous every time I look at it. And I don't mind. I might use Tesla as another signal to short in Rivian underneath the volume weighted average price. I don't mind that. It's the way I see it. Like if Rivian's going to drop on its own, it'll certainly drop when Tesla drops. That makes a ton of sense to me. And look, there's a lot of people in the chat, but really, it's like three things I see in there. Okay. Tesla, Palantir, HIMS, and obviously LIDR and SMX. It's basically the names that you would expect. Yeah. That being said,
Yes, sir.
if there are other names that y'all are interested in us discussing, calling up, answering questions about,
man.
then type $ and whatever symbol floats your boat. Don't just type anything in there.
Hulk Hogan won by like a
MSFT.
mile yesterday.
Of course, Hulk won.
Yeah,
Although Hulk was a stock. It's Stanley something on the OTC. Hulk's right in there again. We got Mara. I don't even know what that is. What? Huh? Depends on what, huh?
This is the ultimate bag hold indicator.
Hood. Why does that have to be bag hold?
Some of these are good companies.
Says. Oh, I haven't seen PDD. That's the first time I've seen PDD in there. Rigetti, Riot, UPS, CNC. Wow, that stuck for them.
Everybody's voting.
No, their earnings did suck. SOU, oh boy.
What? Ashley, you got to type in the ticker, not the name of the company, Ashley. You can't spell out the entire word.
Why you gotta call people out like that?
Well, because I want her to do it right.
You gotta
or
punk
him.
Ashley like that.
Goes both ways, right? Like, he can be Ashley Cole. He's a defender,
True.
right, for Chelsea. He was a defender for Arsenal as well. Shout out to him, Ashley Cole, one of the best fullbacks that wore the English uniform.
We like it. Well, I shouldn't say. You're an England fan, right?
Pardon me?
You're an England fan, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Absolutely, no question about it.
I was
like
pretty
Brazil
sure
as well because, like, if I could choose a country from every continent, I kind of will. Right? And
I grew up with my dad obsessed with the Brazils.
Well, yeah, same. Exactly my dad. Well, I'm assuming he was around Pele and the Pele days, and that was probably what drew him.
And then I ended up with England because remember the story I was telling about my grandfather?
Well, you have family in
he
England,
eventually lived in England,
Okay.
and when I said I have a lot of cousins, my cousin played for England, but it's like I have a lot of cousins.
There you go.
And then that's how I became an England fan, and partly because we're better now.
We're really good.
We're much better. We're much better now. But
really
when we
good.
were younger, if you went out into the World Cup, so what are you going to do?
It was hockey or nothing.
It's hockey or nothing.
Yeah. Now
that
it's
said,
like
they're much
the
better.
Canadians are absolutely blowing up on the world stage. It's not just Alfonso Davies anymore, guys. All right, guys. Look, SMX, man. I mean, you always feel that when you don't have shares left and it continues to make higher highs, and then you look at the chart, you'd be like, oh, well, look at this. There's no candle that broke the prior bar low. Well, you should have saw that during the time when you punched out, because right now I have no shares left on SMX, and it's continuing to make higher highs and higher lows. So I'm a little disappointed with myself right now. I'm going to wait for a pullback into a moving average, and then we can set up on that. While I tell you about that, let me tell you about this.
Remember we were talking about that initial 475 rejection on LIDR? Well, here we are again. Right back at that 475 after dropping into 440. And what's more important this time is we have higher lows on these candles. So the buyers are picking this up at higher and higher levels on every successive pullback. So just wait for a good clearing here. You're likely going to encounter resistance even when you clear 475. You're going to encounter it at $5. It's psychological resistance. Shorts will get in. Profit takers, the longs will also wet the beak there as well. So there's going to be some selling likely at $5, with the ultimate high of the day anyway being that 536. So that's what I'm looking at right now, guys. I'm continuing to watch SMX and LIDR. In my estimation, they are the best small cap gappers tradable right now in the market. We'll have to see whether or not that maintains as the status quo or what. Top VoIP, voice over internet protocol. Shout out to my man Top. Have a look at ABAT. Bouncing off the low, nice range today, right up your alley. Say less, my man. We're gonna load it up right now. All right, ABAT, right? ABAT, a bat. Speaking of bats, did you see the Blue Jays bats yesterday? I don't have to tell you, obviously.
No, you don't.
I know you know. Say that again. What about voice over an internet protocol? You know exactly what it is, especially you, Fabian. You're gonna know exactly what it is. No.
Maybe he knows what's up.
Yeah, that's his wheelhouse, man. That's all he does. He's killing it these days with all these software programs that he's making for the show. By the way,
I have to address something from Scotty H here.
Shout out to Scotty A.
Because this is important. Because in the age of AI,
did you know?
One of the things that'll be important is it's easy to imitate people because there's hours of our video. There's hours of everybody out there, like tape. So they had it with someone imitated Marco Rubio's voice and trying to get trade secrets. And voice security is now useless right now.
Altman talked about that specifically.
So it's important.
Yeah.
And there's certain things, like if you hear my voice say certain things, you know it's cap. Like when Scotty H says, do you know that Neil Roberts became a Dallas Cowboys fan?
That's
he
what
eventually denounced the Bills and decided it was time to pull for America's team.
All hell is breaking.
Now, but this is the thing. You would know exactly
that's fake.
That's the easiest way to tell, because even if
that's funny.
Look, the Buffalo Bills could go 0-17 this year.
Okay.
They could go 0-17 next year.
And they've had bad
They
years.
could go not like
And
that.
you were good with them.
They could have all of that stuff could happen.
Okay.
And I would still be a Bills fan. Because there are some people out there that just latch to a team because they happen to, maybe they won 3 Super Bowls. You know, maybe they had one trade of a legendary running back that set them up for years. And then after the fact, people become fans of that team. That's fine. I'm not one of those people.
Who are you talking about right there?
I'm a fan, like many Canadians, I'm a fan of the Buffalo Bills. Okay. And I will always be a fan of the Buffalo Bills. Win, lose,
Speaking of
draw,
running backs,
because
did
Bills
you see
Mafia.
AP catch hands? AP got he got caught.
We call him all day.
I know, but
I call him AD.
all day on that.
I call him he's not. This is the thing. He's not I know it's Adrian Peter, but his nickname is AD. No one calls him
all
AP.
day. Oh, okay. So
he's all day.
Yeah.
He's AD. That's all.
Well, I don't know
AD,
where he was that day, Neil, but he caught hands. Like he was actually in a bar fight.
But I mean, just because you're strong and an athlete doesn't mean you can fight.
The guy was much smaller than him too.
Yeah, but sometimes it has more to do with how much you had and whether you can throw a punch. I mean, or
maybe
also
he was drinking,
or duck
actually.
one.
Yeah, good point.
I don't know.
Good point.
Maybe he didn't want to Joe Mixon himself and end up. That's okay. What?
Shout out to Joe Mixon.
Yeah, but I'm not saying anything that's crazy. The guy literally on tape knocking someone out.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean,
That's
someone
fair.
out. He literally knocked the girl out, and it's on tape.
Yeah. There's a lot of football
And
players.
he's like
that
twice
seem
her
to be doing that
size.
these days.
You could have just. Anyways.
No, but
Joe
yeah. I don't know did you guys see that AP thing or AD? Sorry, Neil.
AD.
In Sharif Speedo, bro. Why are you still in the chat? I'm gonna have to block you, man.
What?
I don't want anybody called Sharif Speedo in the chat. I don't like it.
We
I don't wear
only-
Speedos. That's for the other guy that sits here sometimes. He's the fan of the short shorts.
Hang on a second.
Hold on.
Because
Hold
you
on.
guys literally.
I just heard something.
You guys
here.
literally had a conversation the other day about wearing short shorts on the show.
We
Did
did.
you not?
Yes. And your friend Joe is okay with the 4-inch cut. Neil, I'm going to go ahead and go on the record right now. I'm going to say 4 inches is too short. It's 5 and up.
Not gonna happen.
All right, you know what I mean?
gonna happen.
So
I wear basketball shorts. Even when I go to a track workout, I'm in basketball. Well, I mean,
no, it feels like the '90s every time I wear those, or the early 2000s. You know what I mean? Like those. I got those. I wear those as PJs. I wear those as my pajamas, right? Like a loose shirt and loose shorts.
Oh, PJs.
So you're all comfy and stuff like that. That's kind of the way it is. Not the Speedo. Not the Spanish. Shut up, Bora. You're hilarious. Oh my God, Roger Noonan. How about Sharif Skort? Roger, you're gonna get blocked, buddy. Yeah, you're gonna have to make a choice. He's misspelt it. Think about that. All right. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here's LIDR. Now we're talking, baby. Now we're at that 475. It feels like it's going to be a flat top break because it's 3 wicking candles all that have rejected that area only to be pre-seed or post-seeded by a higher low. So here we go, guys. This could be it. Now look for the bamboozlement. The problem with this 475 break, though, in my estimation, is you're going to meet resistance very close by at that $5 area. You're likely going to have a $5-ish seller. It could be in the mid-90s, high 90s, whatever. Here we go. Now we're taking out levels. We're above the 10 EMA. It feels like LIDAR is back in the game here, baby. And we're moving back up into the mid-60s percentage. There's a seller of note at 80s. Here comes the lottage. The lottage coming in fast and furious into that 80 area. Already hidden seller there. Like that wasn't enough. Now you're actually getting posted sell orders at that 80. So what I'm going to do is we're going to load up LIDR on the 5-second chart so we can take a gander of where the buying steps in. And it is selling at the 80s, no question. What I'm looking at the 5-second chart for is the higher lows. I want to see if the buyers are picking this up at higher levels, at least on the micro time frame, on every successive drop, so I can kind of try to make my estimation of whether or not we're going to get that flat top break through 80. So that's what I'm looking at right now. We'll keep an eye out on LIDR. SMX just lost the volume, or sorry, the 10 EMA on the 5 for the first time on the day. If it closes like this, it'll be the first time it closes below the 10 EMA. It did find support initially, at least right off VWAP, maybe a penny above VWAP, right into that 160, and that's rocketing back up into 167. It's forming into a bottoming tail candle right now, a red hammer candle nonetheless. So keep your eye out here. SMX could be a good entry point. We're going to keep tabs on that. Back to LIDR. So that seller at 80 still can't shake them. So where the buyer stepped in last time, at least on the micro time frame, was 462, 461. If it loses 462, 461 area and drops into the 50s, I don't think this one is setting up in the right way. So let's keep an eye out on that as well. So LIDR, SMX, I hate to keep repeating myself, but those are the ones I'm looking at. Those are the ones that I'm running, and those are the ones that we're going to try to extract money from. Soothing Nature.
Soothing Nature.
Yeah, it seems to have a nice name. Let's see what he says. I want chat with Sharif Gobriel, not some joker thinking he is cute. I don't even know what that means. So I'm just going to move on. Let's see what SMX is doing. So right back up off that $160, right into that 171. So now we have a doji candle. We were just talking about a red hammer candle. Now we've got basically nobody on this candle. So maybe here above that $176, $177, that new higher high, SMX could be back in business. So we'll keep tabs on that. And yeah, MCVT, I want to mention this one to you guys again. You know, it's straddling VWAP, but that double top is the ugliest thing I've seen in quite some time on these small cap gappers, especially with probably the longs who got caught in this area here. It doesn't feel good. That's why I insist on this pre-market high nonsense. It's not some random rule I just made up. It's not even my rule, okay? It's another small cap trader's rule that I adopted, and just full disclosure. So that's my look there, Neil.
Well, you have to have rules. I mean, where you get it from. I think you want to try to adapt rules as well. Like, I don't know if I do something just because somebody else did, but certainly if it makes sense.
It makes sense to me.
Then why not?
Yeah.
Fourth time, maybe not a charm, but I might get back into Alphabet, but you're not really seeing a heck of a lot of strength anymore. It just lost VWAP. It's putting in lower highs. It did this all morning long, where initial break and then just sort of trended down. Holds VWAP, but then you're still getting lower highs. So I'll jump out when we're underneath VWAP. I don't mind getting back in if we can retake the volume weighted average price and start to look a little bit stronger. But at least for now, it's going to make some sense to dip out. I just saw something which is just, come on. Maracas, open price target 82.
you kidding me, bro?
If, you know what?
I'm not gonna say.
Why not?
We saw GameStop. We saw
We've,
AMC.
yeah,
We've seen
you know
it.
what? Crazier things have happened.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That said, this is the first day since Open went crazy that I have not traded it. I traded it we traded it on the up day. That was like the infamous, hey, I shorted 350 and got it down. It was wild. It halted down.
Have a lot to do with the restaurant business, Neil. So, like, as the restaurant business goes, so does this company.
Oh, this is a squeeze, though.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm talking just fundamentals here. Obviously, the squeeze is what it is. That's its own beast. Yeah, no question about it. But like, what I was going to bring up was when we were talking about CMG the other day, we saw foot traffic drop. We saw that with Mickey D's as well. I know that that's not their main thing. It's more like a sit-down spot, but the weakness in the money spending on restaurants.
Exactly. It's
That's
going to
kind
hurt
of what
them.
I'm thinking there. That's
Well, it's. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I just don't think we're moving on that.
No, certainly not. God, no.
Yeah, and I also don't think we're moving to 82 on fundamentals either. If it's, no, but if it's going to 82, it's because some kind of an epic squeeze happens. So you'd have to have a lot more hedgies loading into this thing.
Good point.
Which, I mean, it could happen. They're in control right now, the selling. It's not even moving all that much anymore. What I can tell you is, yesterday, it was more of like a 250, the 250 level, which was a good short here, and then was a good long yesterday. Now it's back to being a sell off of the 250. So I mean, it's worth watching. It's worth watching for a break. If it can break above 250, it's a matter of how far it could go. Like, see, like 250, holding underneath there. Now it's above VWAP. This could be a breakout over 250. The volume's not nearly what it used to be, but that's just how things work.
Oh, this is residential real estate.
It's just not going to go.
Yeah.
But it's a 100% pure squeeze play. And if I'm looking at a squeeze play, you've got to get through points of resistance. And 250 right now is a point of resistance on Open, which is great.
Yeah, Artemis, exactly. That's
we'll
what
see.
you're right.
We'll see what happens. I was
thinking about Open Table, not Open Door.
Table?
Open Door is like Zillow.
Zillow, that's a stock
yeah.
I have not heard in a long time.
Yeah, remember that one? What?
Well, I mean,
Z?
it's not.
Is it? It's Zed, yeah. Z, okay.
It's not gone. You say
$80.
You can say either one, man.
Oh man, I get trolled. You're not in the midday chat, Neil. They get so upset. The Americans are like, why does that mean that?
I'll go back and forth because you know.
Let's go
around home. Around the house, it's like my daughter will correct me if I say Z, and I just say. Then I ask her to sing the alphabet song.
But to be fair, British say Z as well, right? So it's not like Canadians in isolation. It's just the Americans.
Well, I care about the British, man.
Well, I care about the British.
You
I love
do?
the Prem, baby.
Well, that's okay,
I got 1 foot in England, right? And don't forget, I lived there for a little bit.
Okay, that's
England, right?
True. You have a much bigger reason.
Well, you got family in England, Neil. You always get on me
You
about
were literally
talking smack
trash
about
talking.
Leicester,
Yeah,
right? Like,
true. Shout out to Leicester.
it's a pretty big pond. How big do I swim? Says the Chilean Nightmare. Splits. Oh, I got one leg, I got you. Okay.
What are you, Van Damme? Up in
I know,
here?
right? Straight up. Remember that? What was it? It was when he did the splits on the chairs.
Yeah.
What was that? Bloodsport?
Oh, you're talking about the movie. I was talking about
Yeah.
that silly commercial.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, you're thinking of Bloodsport.
He was doing it because he did it in Bloodsport in the commercial for sure, because everybody remembers that, right? Go ahead.
Fabian, he was never in Mortal Kombat. He was in Street Fighter. Jean-Claude Van Damme was in Street Fighter,
Guile.
which was hilarious because Guile was an American.
And he's got this very, very, very obvious French accent that he can't, and he's not even French.
He's Belgian.
He's Belgian. Exactly.
He had
right?
the best line from that movie is, "This is the collection agency buys in. Your ass is 6 months overdue."
I forget that one.
And the funny thing is, it's not even a bad line, but when he delivers it with his accent, it just becomes hilarious.
I'm gonna give you one
watch
guess
it again, trust me,
who my
it's
favorite female fighter in Street Fighter is, given that we just spoke about something right now. So there's Chun-Li, obviously. We know that. She's obviously from China.
99% of people would be Chun-Li fans.
It's not, though. Come on. There's another female. She's from a country we were just talking about. Cammy, Neil.
Okay, but I'm not gonna go there because my first
Why?
thought. Well,
Okay, there's a story?
No, now I have an idea of why you probably like Cammy, but that's neither here nor there.
I like her because of that spin move that she does. She has like that, it's kind of like the Bison spin move, but
I like Chun-Li because she was better to fight with in the game. I think you've just told us a little bit about your preferences, which is cool, bro.
Oh, Neil, I'm studying Mandarin. You're forgetting that. You're forgetting that, right?
Okay,
I got an affinity for both, baby.
That's true. I've never fought with game. I was also more Mortal Kombat. To me, was the better. And what? They're both great games. But I was just I love Mortal Kombat. I always thought that was the more fun game. But to each their own. Like it was one of those, like, you were usually team one or the other, Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter.
Yeah.
And we had like our high school. There was like a convenience store near our high school we'd go to, and they had no. They had Mortal Kombat and NBA Jam.
Oh, okay, fair.
And those were the two arcade
were the
machines
games,
that they had. So that's what we played with our Magic quarter.
Did you put the quarter down next to the guy so that you could reserve your turn? Did you guys have that rule?
No, our boy had a quarter on a string.
I forgot about that story. That's hilarious. Yes, I know. I know, no, because the rules were back in the day, if you wanted to come in and you were next, you put the quarter down, right? So you reserve your spot. Uh-oh. There's SpaghettiOs. Shout out to Big Smile, or Big Smile, as he's now known, Joe. $4.99 super chat. Just getting here. Joey really picked up a 10. Oh my God.
True.
At the Bros Karaoke Campfire.
True.
Booty Short get together. This is not Joe.
This is Joe.
No, it's not Fabian. It's not Joe. Big Smile, always walking on the edge there. Eh? Yeah,
he's having fun though.
He is having fun. I like him.
Keep having fun, Big Smile. Keep having fun, Big Smile. Do you? No, Joe, I know you're just tuning in right now. First of all, Big Smile, what are you into right now? Usually you're short something.
He's short
Usually you're short
He's
something.
been taking Tesla long lately, by the way, though. I want to tell you that, yeah?
Well, that's probably a good move.
Yeah.
That's probably a good move because Tesla's been rebounding. But I can tell you what is also rebounding. Hey, I'm only in one thing left. But SBET just came right back in. We're only shorting it off the prior day low, and it just picked me right back up. After it was just breaking low of the day. Now it's starting to pick back up. If you're watching this, remember, you've got to be watching what's going on with ETH, which is trying to break. Oh, boy. This could be interesting because ETH could break this little down channel, and I could still be short SBET. So, and I know it doesn't always make sense, but look, I'm shorting the pop in SBET. But if ETH breaks this little downward channel, that to me is a bottom. The only thing that wouldn't get me long ETH here on that bottoming tail was the fact there was no volume. That's usually the prerequisite. To just enter without a trend break, I want to see some more volume in there, and there was no volume. But this is like a trend top breakout on ETH. If it happens, I have to make sure I have a level 2 up for it, which make sure I type in the right place. I'm telling you, it's like driving on the wrong side of the road.
There you go.
And there it is. I'm just putting it up on another chart so I can track that as it goes. But we did short that pop in SBET because that's the one place we are looking for the short, was that prior day low on SBET. And obviously a lot of these treasury names is what I want to call them, have been taking it on the chin. This is a simple trend continuation. Didn't have it at the open. I didn't really do much at the open because I was trying to set my layout up and had some. It's not that big of a deal, but it's just everything is reversed for me, so I had to make sure I had everything arranged. But this was one pop, drop, pop, drop. There's only a couple of days like pop, drop, pop, drop. Like it's been fading pretty much, and most of the time when it's done this, it's ended at the low of the day, at least near the low of the day, pretty much at the low of the day. So until that trend is gone, then I want to look to be shorting pops on SBET. But you got to watch out for any strength that does come into ETH.
How much would shorts on LIDR cost me?
On LIDR?
Yeah.
I can check.
Because it feels like it's going to flat bottom break through VWAP.
It's real trading. It's going to be cheap.
Yeah, well, it's always cheap, yeah. And I always appreciate you and the Katina man as well, always hooking me up. Sorry, what was that, Assassino? Headline? Oh, there it is. Reports, Intel spinoff. Intel reveals plan to spill off networking business. Say less. Thank you guys for that, by the way, because Adara isn't here. So let me have a look at that, see if I can see it on my blotter.
It's not even that.
I'm not even seeing it on my blotter quite yet. Looking. No, it hasn't come up on my blotter yet. Shout out to Big Spal. Not too much trading today. Not too much trading today. Jameson, ACHO. I'll get to that one in a minute, brother. Midnight, long-time viewer here. Love the show. Miss some of the old hosts. How are Ian, Luca, Pradley, Arun doing? Missing them all. They're all doing really well. I mean, I see Luca a lot on Instagram. We talk sometimes. I see Ian as well. Not so much of Prad. And Arun I haven't seen in a long time. He does actually go to a gym very near my place, so I should reach out to him. I think they're all doing quite well from what I've seen with Ian and Luca. I really keep up with them. They're doing fantastic.
Yeah, they were at poker night.
They were at poker night.
Yeah, Ian and Luca were at poker night. Like, that's the thing. Like, a lot of the traders are all, they stick around.
Oh, yeah.
We talk to each other. Max was at poker night as well.
Max is always
It's
visiting.
always good fun. He's always visiting. I know he's doing well. I mean, it's actually, as a matter of fact, Max got married. Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then Luca's doing absolutely fantastic.
DL, because he didn't put anything on his Instagram. Yeah, okay, interesting.
Congratulations to him.
Well,
But-
congratulations to him, man.
And but it's the same thing. The only one that I haven't seen in quite some time is Arun. Like, we used to be in touch.
Yeah.
We'd be back and forth. I chat with him all the time.
I haven't seen him either.
But it's been a couple of years since I've heard
There you
anything,
go.
which is weird because like there's old traders from like 10, 15 years ago that I still stay in contact with, and because that's just how it is. But yeah, unfortunately, I haven't. Maybe I'll reach out and just say,
like,
ask
I
him
should
what's
do the
up,
same
'cause-
thing, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. But everybody, you know what else you can do? Check out VinFast. Why? Because there's big news with Vietnam's green mobility shift and a major win for VFS on the Nasdaq. Starting July 1st in 2026, Hanoi will ban gas-powered motorcycles in its city center, kicking off a nationwide move toward electric transport. VinFast is in prime position to benefit. With major investments in EV tech, battery production, and charging networks, it has a strong head start. While others scramble, VinFast is ready. And this policy only sharpens its edge. Scan the QR code for more information. Shout out to VinFast.
Bang.
We appreciate them. So I hate to pour cold water on this spin-off of the networking thing for Intel. But that's the volume. I'll zoom in so you can see the volume spike and the 10 cents that it went to the upside. That was, I guess, a chance for everybody to go out and short the volume-weighted average price in Intel. It went down 10%. It's going to be SSR, which means today's Friday, which means on Monday. Oh, that reminds me of something. That means on Monday it is going to be short sell restricted.
Oh.
But we're also supposed to. The package came great. We're supposed to
Jose
get
put it on his
maybe
desk,
some brews or something we're supposed to do for the afternoon show. I'm just saying.
Tonight?
Well, that was the plan.
Oh.
Remember we got all those super chats last week? And,
a substantial amount.
and we were supposed to wait till this Friday, and we did, despite somebody's objections. I don't know who that might have been. We love it. We love it. Just right back into the markets, everybody. Let us know, like, if there's anything, any questions you guys had, you can always just jump in the chat and ask us. Mike Peter Ryder, you did hear beer.
Get it, Mike.
You did hear beer. And Rivian Millionaire, I want to get to GoPro in a second because some of those squeeze names are bear watching. That said, 22 on SBET. So I reloaded at 22.22 because why wouldn't I? I love the number. By the way, I saw Will Clark on some. You don't know who Will Clark is.
No.
That's fine. He's an ex-MLB player. Okay. So I saw him on some podcast, and he was talking about hitting, and the guy is super. He should be coaching, man. Like, he really knows his
Team
edge.
did he play for?
He played for the Giants and he played for Texas.
What years?
He would have been in like the late 80s, early 90s.
Okay, no, I wouldn't remember that far. I know our team from the early 90s and the late 80s, but I wouldn't know others.
They called him Will.
Unless some big names like
Will the Thrill. He had a home run in his first college
Will the
at bat.
Thrill, I like
He had a home run in his first professional at bat.
You kidding?
He hit a home run with his first major league swing
So he gets home runs?
off of Nolan Ryan.
No, okay.
And if it wasn't
Well, there you go.
if it wasn't for injuries, he'd be in the Hall of Fame. But what I loved about him, he was just a straight gamer. If you looked at him, you could walk. If you didn't know he walked down the street, you wouldn't tell he's a professional athlete. But he was like the guy.
Very interesting.
There's some people that got the most out of their abilities.
Hey.
He was one of those. Another one that should be in the Hall of Fame is Jim Abbott.
All right,
I'm
Neil,
on that.
I'm going to do the news. Is there anything you want to cover before I weasel into the news?
Just make sure you add the hymns news.
Him's news, absolutely.
And ignore the nothing burger that is Intel trying a spinoff, which will make them pennies.
I'm just going to do the Intel report, that's all. But we got to cover that because they reported and it's an important company. So let's do it. So Intel. Look, I still think that there's a shot for Intel. I'm just speaking for myself here. I just think the politics are too much in favor of national security for a domestic chip company not to make it. I just think you can't rely on Taiwan. Taiwan's here today. It's not here tomorrow. I'm not going to go down that road. But let's go. Revenue. Okay, for Intel, 12.86 billion. It easily beat what the street was looking for there. They were looking for 11.92. So almost $1 billion beat on the top line. But the adjusted EPS was not really comparable here because I had one line item for $800 million that threw off EPS. But just to give you guys, the actual print was negative 10 pennies EPS, but there was an impairment charge, a one-off impairment charge. In addition to that one-off impairment charge, the net loss, the money that they were supposed, usually net profit we're talking about, but here was a net loss of almost $3 billion. Now, just keep in mind that the previous CEO, Pat Gelsinger, had a different philosophy for where he wanted to take this company. He wanted to make them into like the global foundry business, and that's super CapEx heavy. We'll get to what they've changed about that strategy in a second, but just keep in mind that they were spending a lot of money, therefore a net loss here makes kind of some sense. But they did increase the net loss. They lost about $1.6 billion last time. Now they lost $2.9 billion. Now, how about the guidance? They expect Q3 revenue to be in the range of about $13.1 billion. The midpoint there is about 12.65. The EPS guidance as well below consensus of 4 pennies. About, a bit of a miss there on EPS. Let's talk about Lip-Bu. Lip-Bu Tan, he's the new CEO. He's the guy that took over from Patty G. It's his second earnings report with the company. He confirmed, sadly, that there would be major layoffs at Intel, essentially to the tune of about 15% of their workforce. He wants to have about 75,000 employees total by the end of 2025. His operating expenses here are also being trimmed by about $17 billion. Obviously, one of those things that's helping trim that 17 are the 15% workforce layoffs. He is streamlining management as well, so cuts there. It's not just the lower levels. And apparently, this kind of stood out to me, Neil. He's actually personally reviewing chip designs before final production. He's obviously an engineer by profession, so it's nice to see he's getting his hands dirty, so to speak, in the actual nitty-gritty of things. Let's go on here to their fabrications, their fabs. That's what that stands for. So they're canceling 2 major fabrication plants, one in Poland, one in Germany. So right off the bat, you can tell they're canceling the international fab plants, really to focus on domestic. And that makes sense with Donald Trump pounding the table all the time about everything made in America, made in America. It would be a bad look for Intel to receive all that government money from the CHIPS Act and then go build in other countries. That's just my little opinion there. They're also slowing down production at the Ohio factory construction due to what he calls overinvestment as well as, sadly, a lack of demand. They're testing an assembly ops, which will be consolidated in Vietnam and Malaysia to reduce costs. That's kind of interesting there. And their new investments, this 14A process that Lip-Bu Tan really wants to focus on, much to the kind of dismay of the engineers working on the 18A process. So the 18A is akin to Taiwan Semi's 5 nanometer chip. The 14A chip process is more like a 3 or 2 nanometer, which Taiwan Semi just started scaling. So you feel here, Lip-Bu wants to be at the cutting edge, not about, historical or like dated chip design. So I do like that. But according to him, he's only going to really move ahead with that 14A mass production if he has guaranteed customer commitments and buy orders coming in. He's not going to make them and then hope for the best. That's kind of the feeling I got there. Let's talk about their foundry business here.
posted about 3.17 billion. That's a new business for them because they were a chip design company, remember? Now they're looking at being a chip manufacturing company for others' designs, and that's what the foundry business under Patty G was supposed to do. 3.17 billion in operating losses on 4.4 billion in revenue. Still lacks a major anchor customer like an Apple, which makes their own chips now, making the future outlook highly uncertain. And Lip-Bu-Tan emphasized no more blank checks. All CapEx, Neil, must be justified by return on investment plans. Any comment, Neil, on the Intel report?
Well, you know what? I like a lot of what new CEO Lip-Bu is trying to accomplish. One concern I would have is if you need to have your CEO, for lack of a better term, micromanaging production to that degree, it signals that you're identifying that there's a problem that needs to be solved, which is to improve your process. They fell behind in terms of they were, when everyone was going to 5 nanometer, they were at 7, and when everyone goes to 3, they're at 5. Like it's just, and what ends up happening, and I get it, is that you're trying to play catch up, and then you're not getting the job done because you're trying to rush to play catch up, and at the end of the day, you've got to do it right first, and then you can try to grow. And I think that focus is correct. That being said, I believe in the foundry play too. I believe you need to be producing chips in the United States.
Exactly.
But they flat out have told us that that's not going to make them money. They went from 2026 to potentially 27 or 28. And they told us that.
Yeah.
So yes, I believe that's there. I just don't know when to expect it, everybody. And if anyone trying to bottom pick, at least it's not going down any further at this point. I think we've caught maybe a little bit of a bottom, but there's something, they need a few wins. They need some W's. And for them to still be missing on, they like to not get ETS, it's just like, come on, man. At some point, you've got to start winning again.
Agreed.
But let's go back. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know if Intel's going to be that exciting. I do expect, because on a Monday morning, it is going to be SSR, that immediately sets something up for me. Like, regardless of what levels this is at, if this thing is, look, it's going to be 10% down and they hit it today. On Monday morning, if we get a chance, almost any single level, if it's $20, it's $20. If it's $20.50, it's $20.50. I always just look for that mean reversion and bounce play. And the day 2 play is often better than the day 1 play, for sure. So that's what I want to be looking for. I've seen a lot of people mentioning that Bitcoin, and someone asked,
we're going to get that one next.
Is Joe looking at IBIT?
Oh, well, Joe's gone.
Well, Joe, I was going to say Joe is Joey Options. He's gone, but it's actually creeping higher as we have a little bit of a rounded bottom. We're back to 116 on IBIT. That's like 66, just underneath 66, and we're at 66.17. So we're almost back to where we were at the open. It's broken its trend and heading higher, despite the fact that ETH is still struggling to get out of its downward trend. Finally, weakness in Ethereum.
There you go. Top VOIP. I told you I'd look at ABAT, so I'm going to pause for 1 second. Look, brother, this breaches both of my rules. This print here, actually, it's not technically a breach of my rules because this high a day right now, 389, that was actually regular market hours, and that's why you see it posted there in the green. That was the implied balance high. But since that time, it's made lower highs. It's approaching VWAP, 330. That's where the volume would. I'd be looking for resistance there. Now, if it gets above VWAP, this could be a good trade, but it would have to be. For me personally, I'd like to see it above 390 before I start trading it, as well as obviously reclaiming the 330 area, which is VWAP. So ABAT, American Battery Technology down 7 1/5, but looking to recover off those area lows. Top VOIP. Sorry about that, brother. I did mean to actually cover it, but you know how it is. We always end up talking about stuff. All right, let's talk about the crypto market liquidations. I wake up this morning, I'm about to smash a sesh at 5 a.m. I look at Bitcoin, it's like 115,000. I'm like, what happened? I just left this thing at night, it was 120. So yeah, Bitcoin briefly dipped according to certain exchanges down to $114,518, falling about 2% in 24 hours after flirting yesterday with that $120,000 level. It later rebounded and is continuing to rebound right now, but the volatility remains. The drop
triggered $140 million in BTC long position liquidations. Long positions, not short sellers entering. That is per CoinGlass, that data point right there. So the wider liquidations in the crypto market as well, it just wasn't Bitcoin. You had $532 million in total positions liquidated in crypto within 24 hours, with 142,000 traders taking a hit. 70% of the losses suffered in the last 24 hours, which is about $383 million, came from long positions, okay? This really highlights the over-leveraged, so to speak, market conditions and trader sentiment misalignment. I don't agree with that statement, but that's what the article wrote here. Let's talk about XRP, because they also got smacked. They dropped below $3, which is a psychological area of support before rebounding back above $3. About $16.5 million in XRP longs were liquidated in that same 24-hour period. XRP, though, despite the fact that we've been speaking highly about it, it's now dropped more than 10% since that July 21st high, making it one of the weakest weeks, I should say, one of the week's worst performers. I can speak English, I promise. Some other bad performers: Solana down 2.8%, Doge slipped about 2.3%. Ethereum, though, at least when this article was written, was bucking the trend. BNB as well, a name that I'm just getting familiar with for the first time. Let's see if it's available on my platform over here, Neil. No, it's not. Yeah, not there. BNB climbed about 0.9% after hitting a new all-time high for BNB of $808. That's not available on my platform, so I won't be able to follow it. But yeah, not a bad
BNB.
Yeah, BNB. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. That's the wire, man.
Any comment, Neil, about the crypto liquidations that we saw last night? And into this morning, obviously.
It doesn't mean profit taking. It does not surprise me whatsoever. If there's one thing, I'm a Bitcoin guy, but if there's one thing that I'm not a huge fan of, it's as we get all the adaptation that we want, and everyone here can get involved in crypto in their retirement accounts, and their swing accounts with the TFSA.
Right.
And you also have the president looking to open up. I don't know if it's probably not official yet, but looking to open it up to retirement accounts in the U.S. as well. Those are all good things. But in getting all of these products out there and the ETFs, well, there's just so much leveraging that happens in the space, which pretty much goes against everything that Bitcoin's supposed to be about. Exactly. Which is, it cuts both ways. It's great for us to be able to trade it, to be able to hold it in my TFS. I'm happy about that, but at the end of the day, that kind of goes against it, and it does sometimes exacerbate the move. So when you get these liquidations, like you look at XRP, that's perfectly healthy on a daily chart.
Sure.
But that extension down maybe goes a little further than you would expect. But I think it's healthy. There were not many down days from 220 up to get to that 360 area. So it would make some sense that you could have a rapid drop and you get liquidations when a key level, like an obvious one, gets lost. Then we tend to have these ridiculous drops. What I found is if you get really fortunate on the weekends, it used to be that if you see one of those hammers on a weekend, like a Saturday morning or something, if you happen to be on the bid in the right spot, it's just like an instant bounce back.
It's funny how they always move on the weekends. They make big moves on the weekends.
Yeah, well, I think. Obviously it's a 24-hour market, but then when everything's going to go 24 hours, that said, crypto is 24/7.
Yeah, can I say something?
Even if we go 24 hours here, well, I don't know we're going to be 24/7.
It's probably 24/5, I'm assuming. They're talking about 24/5. But can I say something to you before the future opens?
23/5 technically.
23/5? Yeah, because there's that 1 hour.
There's going to be, when the markets go to 24 hours, it really won't be 24 hours.
Fair.
There's still going to be that 1 hour of a break.
Clearing and whatever. Before the future opens up 6 p.m. Eastern on Sundays, I'm looking at BTC from like 12 o'clock onwards to try to gauge where the market's going, which I hate because, again, I don't want that correlation between BTC and the Qs, but it's still there. So anyway.
All you care, that's the thing. Like, I don't want it to correlate, but sometimes it can be very useful when it does.
Exactly.
Very, very useful. We got a super chat in here, and Kelvin TS, I'm sorry to hear this. We're trying to go over to this chart so I can go to HIMS. Hey, boys, you're riding a 3% P&L day and look down at your phone and it dropped to down 0.5 because of the HIMS news. What are your thoughts about the news? So
Look, Neil, they've been smacked before, haven't they? They keep coming back, though. Remember the Amazon news? Amazon's going to compete against them, and then there's the sorry, not the FTC, but the, what's it called?
It was the FDA.
The FDA, excuse me, yeah, news.
Where they basically told the FDA, no, we don't care, with regards to halting, with regards to halting one of their trials. But I went to the daily chart for a reason here, so you can at least see that while it dipped, and I know it can't be fun, especially if you were in this, outside of a little bit of pullback, and it tried to hold underneath VWAP, and then look, it's still in the process of filling in the gap. And look at where this bounced at 54 on HIMS. So regardless of what you think about it, since this got the biggest the big bad Novo news, it has held the low, broken the first bounce resistance, held that low, broken that resistance, and now on bad news again, we've held in front of prior resistance. So regardless of what anybody thinks, the dip is being bought and previous resistance is turning into support on the stock. So at least from a trend perspective, until that abates, it seems okay to hold it. This is the difference between, remember we were talking about how trash that dip buy? And I say trash, but like you could have made 5 to 7% if you bought, it was, oh my goodness, UNH.
UNH, yeah.
If you bought UNH on its quadrant, you could have made 5 to 7%. If you bought it the second day, and I know a lot of people did. I don't know what anybody else did with it. I know some people, maybe they took the small amount of profit. I ended up essentially flat on the trade despite holding it that long. But we were saying it's just not going anywhere. Like HIMS makes the bottom and then starts putting in higher lows. This made the bottom, started doing a little something, which is barely moving 3, 4, 5% at a time, and then it lost the bid. You know, at least with HIMS, you have some kind of a bounce, which is holding up there. So I'm presuming by what you said that you are still in the trade. And if when you looked at it, you were down, it is recovering. So I'd imagine it's getting a little bit better. So as long as it can hold on to this, dead cat bounce, whatever you want to call it, doesn't look all that bad. I've seen this one in the chat multiple times, NBIS.
Yeah, I'm asking him what the actual time frame that he wants us to look at, because right now it's flat. It's down 0.81. Yeah,
and it's still not, and it hasn't moved. And sort of, we don't mind looking at anything, but I'm always curious, like, what's drawing you to make you ask about
Well, that's why I asked about the daily. Was it the daily that he wants me to look at? Because we were talking right now about HIMS on the daily, so I figured maybe he wants, but he'll respond. I also want to shout out Kelving's GTS. Thank you very much, brother, for the $10 super chat. Thanks, guys. I can't day trade without this channel. Great work. I'm riding that HIMS back up. Hope you're printing up multiple storms and you continue to print up multiple storms, my man. I mean, goes without saying, I want everybody on the other side of that screen to do really well, because if you guys do well, you'll join us again. So I'm a little selfish in that regard. Ram, 3,300 now. Yeah, I know, right? Sure, maybe a bit longer term, says the philanthropist Baker. Sure, we'll pause for a second the news and I'll look at that one for you. 1 second. So it's NBIS. Let's have a look. So let's go to the weekly. Let's start off with the weekly. What happened here with NBIS? Did it stop trading? Nebius Group. Neil, did this thing stop trading from April? What is this? Do you have this on your screen? Go to the weekly for a sec, or is it just weekly? My crazy ass chart over here?
Hang on.
What do you got on that bad boy?
I'll do a monthly because that'll tell you. When did you say it started?
I see data blank from
October 1st.
From October.
Yeah.
So okay, so you see it as well.
That's right.
Okay, so yeah, there was trading before that on this, but it goes back with. I have to figure this out. I'll ask chat. I'll see what Perplexity has to say. So stop trading the week of February 28th, and then it started trading again February 28th, 2022. And then it started trading again the week of October 21st, 2024. So I'll ask chat what's going on there. But the weekly, look, it's got higher lows and higher highs from when it started trading. So if you're looking at that area low at 15, you have another higher low at 17. If you're looking at this area high back February 2025, that's at 50. Now we've got 57. So it's higher lows and higher highs on the weekly. When you go to the daily, let me have a look. Yeah, and you're still seeing that same look on the daily, higher lows, higher highs, generally at that area. So not a bad look, but nothing that I'd be interested in day trading, to be quite honest with you. It just doesn't have the range for me. Hope that helps.
I'm just sort of reading about it. These guys seem like a European.
They were suspended when the Russian-Ukraine war started. They were a Russian company, but now located in the Netherlands. That makes absolute sense.
But they're like a core weave.
Are they? Or they're renting out their computer stuff? Well, let's see what this says over here, Neil. Here, Netherlands-based infrastructure company operating in technology, engaged in developing portfolio of artificial intelligence-related technology assets, involved in creating artificial intelligence-centric player to integrate essential elements and of artificial intelligence development with the infrastructure, data, and advisory. That does make sense.
Maybe not the exact same business, but I guess
Close.
I guess it's close.
Let's go on here, Neil, to the FCC approving the Paramount Skydance merger. It's finally over. Adara is going to love this when she's back. She's been following this. Dude, she knows everything about this. She knows everything about Sherry Redstone, what kind of lipstick she wears, everything. Everything. She's ready to go. Adara knows all about this. I know.
She just doesn't forget anything. No, she doesn't forget anything, so she does know it all. If she reads it once, she knows it. It's crazy. I wish I had that talent.
The FCC approved, guys, that $8 billion merger between Paramount and Skydance Media, clearing the way for the media shakeup involving CBS, Paramount Pictures, and Nickelodeon. The deal marks the exit of said Sherry Redstone with her family's National Amusements, selling its controlling stake to Skydance, which is owned by Larry Ellison, son of Oracle, David Ellison. So good luck there. The FCC chair, the new chair that is, Brendan Carr, praised the move, saying legacy news media lacks public trust and Skydance's commitment will bring ideological diversity. Don't come at me. That's just what's being talked about here. Skydance has pledged, don't come at me for this one either, has pledged to avoid DEI programs, appoint third-party bias watchdogs, and promote programming from a wider political spectrum. The commissioner, Anna Gomez, was a dissenting voice. She's a Biden appointee. She voted against the deal, citing concerns over a recent $16 million Trump settlement with CBS regarding that 60-minute interview with Kamala Harris. Critics argued the settlement and the FCC approval reflects improper political influence from the Trump administration. They cite the cancellation of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. They say the abrupt cancellation drew scrutiny just 1 week after the Trump settlement amid pending merger approval, and Colbert had publicly called the payout a big fat bribe, which is intensifying the speculation about the retaliatory motives. Hey, I'm not taking a position either way. I'm just reading it out, and that's what it is. Do you want to say anything about this, or should we just move on?
No, we can probably move on. We don't need to get political.
I like it. Let's do it. Let's talk about Tesla.
Before we get, can we? I just want to get to a couple super chats.
Absolutely, no.
So just to break it up, because I know Kelvin, TS, we really appreciate these comments. Absolutely. Thanks, guys. I can't day trade without this channel. Great work. I'm riding that HIMS back up. That's the beauty of the market. Like when that buying came in, like you can find that support level and it can bounce off of it. You could have shorted it off VWAP and you could have a scalp trade that worked. That was my approach. As long as you have a plan of action, it's like one person can be one way, another person can be another way, and everybody can win. And ultimately, we're just all trying to beat the market makers, right? And shout out to Roger Mex. Thank you for your super chat as well. 5% plus today trading SPY option. Let's go. Absolutely. And before I throw it back to you, just to point out, we've been in a very distinct downtrend in Tesla. This could end up being a situation where we get the old patented, let's just go right down on into VWAP on trend and try to bounce right off the volume.
Feels like that way.
It's 315, not the time of day, but that is the price. A trend break off, for it to trend down into VWAP and bounce would almost be like it's too obvious, but I think that's one of the places I'll look for. SDET broke the low of the day, but I told you guys I'm holding through the low this time. And I'm probably eyeballing this VWAP to see if we can bounce there on Tesla.
The chat is undefeated. That's all I'm going to say about that. The chat is
the community's undefeated.
Exactly. Well said.
Undefeated.
Well said. Let's talk about Tesla facing a triple threat. You know, I don't like to crap on Tesla. Okay.
Yes, you do.
No. I don't. It's like one of my positions, Neil, in the long term. I don't like to crap on Tesla. I don't. But there's some stuff to talk about here. So let's do it. Second straight quarter of declining sales, sadly, highlighting the demand pressure, especially, I should say, in Europe. Market share fell. Down to 2.8% in June, down from 3.4% year over year, marking the 6th consecutive monthly declines for Tesla in that continent. In addition, obviously, the Trump administration plans to weaken the clean vehicle mandates, obviously by removing fines for car makers who miss their emissions targets. Now, that hurts Tesla how? Because that will eliminate the need for the traditional automakers to buy those regulatory credits from Tesla, which is going to cut off a key revenue stream. These regulatory credits have been buffering their margins, I don't want to say, for like almost a decade now. Additionally, to even hurt Tesla more, that $7,500 federal EV tax credit comes to an end at the end of September. It's already come to an end in this country, and it was never $7,500, it was $5,000. Really effectively raising Tesla's prices and potentially hurting demand further. So if the car was $50,000, it's going to be $57,500. We'll see if Tesla drops prices, but if they do, you have to assume the margin compresses. We'll have to wait and see. Also, more bad news for the Cybertruck owner. The Bitcoin holdings here that Tesla has valued at a healthy $1.25 billion. But believe it or not, they sold off 75% of their BTC back in 2022
Whoops.
when the price was 19,000. No, Elon, no. Bitcoin now obviously near 125, so Tesla missed out on billions in unrealized gains. A costly strategic misstep in hindsight, or did they take that money that they were holding in BTC and invest in production? We won't know. Despite the regulatory hit, Trump said, I want Elon to thrive, suggesting he is not targeting him in his move. Whether or not that's the truth, whether or not he's even forming part of the calculus, your guess is as good as mine. Any comment on Tesla? Sorry, I didn't see you chewing there. We'll get back to you on that one. Piper Sandler tagging Palantir as a top AI winner. You good?
I actually just punched in Tesla.
You got long?
No, it was bottoming tail. Excuse me, the bottoming tail candle here on Tesla at 318. If you look at this parabolic move at 11 or so, that was right into the same 318. So I essentially just took the curl.
Okay.
And there's a lot of ways that you can break a trend. And one of them could just be a trend line break. And obviously, this is not like a clean trend line break, but the bottoming tail candle can be a reason to get in, especially if there's good volume. And in this particular case, there was a big volume candle, at least the biggest one so far in this lunchtime session for Tesla. So really, the only thing I really had to add was that I had just gotten in, but I was looking for a curl around here on Tesla. Let's see how far it can get to the upside. I want to respect that 320 because it was an absolute battle of wills the first time that it got there, and I would expect maybe you could see that again. As far as the whole Bitcoin thing, I mean, I understand, like, you want to put like pie in the face because Elon sold Bitcoin.
They love to do that to him. They want to point
That's the only
every
That's the only
mistake.
reason it's a story.
Exactly.
At the time, let's not forget, at the time, like, everything was risk off. And the market was getting flushed.
Yeah,
and they probably wanted to get some cash out there. And at the end of the day,
do you remember
I think it's like a good add-on to pile on against Elon, and that's all I see it as.
Do you
Lots of
remember
people
the
probably sold
Meta earnings in 22 and the Netflix earnings? Do you remember the $100 drops that we would see after the bell? That was 2022.
I remember distinctly.
Yeah.
No, I remember very distinctly. Meta was at what, $300?
Something like
that. Going into earnings. And I remember the number of people that said this is the #1 company in the Mag 7. And half a year later, it was at $100. And look, ultimately, it's right back. That's my point about dollar cost averaging.
Doubled. Yeah.
Like dollar cost averaging.
There you go.
So it's like, there's probably people that sold these great companies at massive discounts as well. There obviously were sellers down there too. So anyways, I feel like it's one of those like items that they're making more of a story out of it than it needs to be. If you want to criticize Tesla, then criticize Tesla for their further declining sales. Criticize them for underwhelming us when it comes down to giving us an economic and smaller model. Criticize them for not meeting their timeline on autonomous driving, even though they're making some progress there.
Yeah.
Criticize that. But the Bitcoin thing, like, get out of here.
Couldn't agree more with that.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more with that. Thank you for stressing that point because it was bothering me as well. Let's talk about Piper. Piper upgrading, or they're actually initiating coverage on Palantir. I guess not a minute too soon here, Piper. Initiating coverage on Palantir with an overweight rating and a $175 price target, basically implying a 13% upside from yesterday's close, not from where it's currently at right now. I know it's up on the day. The stock's already up again from yesterday's close, 105% year to date. But analyst Brent Bracelin sees more room to run based on fundamentals and long-term positioning, he says. He highlights that Palantir's rare blend of 30% revenue growth and 40+% free cash flow margins is an industry top player. The company has grown into a $4 billion revenue run rate over 22 years, and Piper, for their part, they project a $24 billion run rate by 2032, so less than a decade. The firm calls Palantir's model one of a kind within the high-growth software and AI cohort, and they see plenty of AI tailwind left for them. They see a secular win. They see Palantir, as a secular winner in the overall AI revolution with catalysts across both the commercial and the government verticals. And that's what I've been talking about for a long time on Palantir. I'm very pleased to see them expand away from government and into commercial. Number one, because it's just, you don't want to be relying too much on the government. That's kind of my belief there. It always changes. You got a government today that's pro-you, tomorrow they're anti-you, and you have no way of dealing with that. Piper also believes that their 30% CAGR, which stands for compounding annual growth rate, is achievable to supported by two $1 trillion plus total addressable market TAMs. So according to Piper, they have two markets, each of which has a $1 trillion total addressable market. So $2 trillion TAM combined, according to Piper, for Palantir. They do talk about the valuation, how it's a little rich. The firm acknowledged Palantir's rich valuation premium and the high risk profile, but that says that the upside justifies the risk, at least for long-term investors. And the companies, I like this part, Neil, the unconventional leadership and culture are seen as potential strengths in a rapidly evolving AI landscape. I don't want to point any fingers, but I wouldn't consider our very good friend there, Alex Karp, to be a conventional individual.
No, it doesn't seem like it at all, but I think you want that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You want him to be unconventional, because at the end of the day, if a company is going to grow into a valuation like that, it needs to continuously innovate and look for other revenue streams. I'm with you. You don't want to be totally reliant on you don't want to be totally reliant on the government.
They're good with you tomorrow, they're bad with you the next day. Whereas business.
I got a big but. But I firmly believe if the foundation of your business is consistently getting government contracts, if there's one thing we know about government, it is always going to spend more money.
Yeah.
No matter what anybody tells you, the world is addicted to debt. Politicians are addicted to debt. And if you have a strong foundation of getting those contracts, whether you like it or not, I understand if you don't like Palantir for being in the defense business, fine, fair enough. But at the end of the day, it's going to print them money, and it gives them that great foundation 100%. To build from. So it matters, man. It's great.
Can we honestly talk about like we saw with the big beautiful bill and how they were trying to cut money, and just cutting money for these guys who are in 2-year political cycles is a lot easier said than done, because if you cut too much, you're just going to lose your job, and that's the way it is, you know. So to say that the government is always going to spend money, I gotta agree with you on that until there's a marked change in our society, and I don't think that's
not going to happen. Yeah. No, we're like the entire world economy is built on a foundation of debt that we couldn't get out of if we even tried.
Let's talk a little Apple here. Apple doing basically nothing. They report next Thursday, guys, with Amazon. The Katina man and I will be on the market recap show next Thursday. Big earnings report, Apple and Amazon. The two A's in the Mag 7. Let's talk a little bit about this iOS 26 beta that's now been open to the public. I've had this going on a few months now. I have decent things to say about it. Maybe I would like it a little bit more if my phone was newer. So this is the 13 Pro Max. Obviously, it's a little dated, back from 2021. So I will buy the 17 when it comes out. I buy these usually every 4 or 5 years. So maybe it'll run a little bit better. So my experience is a little bit biased right now. But Apple did release the public beta. Before that, you had to be a developer or classify yourself as a developer like myself, allowing users with recent iPhones to test the upcoming operating system. Users can enroll via Apple's website and install the beta through the general settings. The final version will roll out in the fall alongside the new iPhone hardware. So what it introduces is this liquid glass, if you haven't already heard about it. It's Apple's biggest UI upgrade since back in 2013 when they released iOS 7. I happen to remember that very vividly because I downloaded the beta of iOS 7 off a torrent website. That's how long ago this was, Neil. Buttons and menus now appear as translucent as well as animated, mimicking fluid motion. Apple relies on public feedback to refine the design before the final release. So if you're going to download it, tell them what you think. Despite the hype around this iOS upgrade, iOS 26, Siri's AI revamp will be delayed until next year, 2026. iOS still does add some AI features like real-time iMessage and FaceTime translations. I can speak to this. My parents are in California, so I've been FaceTiming with them the last little while, Neil, and I just gave this a try. It actually works quite well. It's very good. It's real-time. It's not delayed, so not bad. They also add visual search via screenshots, example, highlighting a product in an image, and then you find it online. So there's already some Apple Intelligence stuff built in, just not the Siri. Now, it's going to be on all their platforms. So your Macs, your iPads, your phones, your Apple TV, your Apple Watch, everything is going to have this new iOS 26 kind of liquid glass. So this liquid glass UI extends across all their platforms, unifying the design across its ecosystem. Developers are already experimenting with the system-wide refresh following WWDC back in June. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out on that. But you kind of feel, Neil, that this is an Apple Intelligence as well as a China story. And until you're going to fix both those things, we're going to be locked in this price range like we've been for a while.
Yeah, and well, also the other side of it, I think it's also a matter of preference. Because at the end of the day, you've been able to choose. And we've seen this change in the Mag 7 where there's nothing about it moving, none of them are moving together anymore. And the Tesla's in its own bucket. Apple's in its own is in its own bucket. Microsoft was doing its own thing for a while.
Yep.
Meta kind of in between, but almost as strong as Softy. Amazon and Alphabet, like just there's nothing. They all have their own individual moments.
Exactly.
And right now, outside of the performance in Tesla, Apple's the hardware name that no one's excited about.
No, exactly.
You know, I know what Meta's trying to do. And I think there's a huge opportunity for them in multiple fronts for Meta. They're the new face of the advertising game.
Absolutely.
They can possibly change the game when it comes to devices. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. And they're spending aggressively in the market's been rewarding them for it, and they still print money. Microsoft has a huge moat around them, obviously with cloud, because Azure is amazing, and then on top of that, of course, connect with ChatGPT, and they've got to some degree they've had some failures monetizing with their Office products AI, but they have more of a moat, and they've been rewarded for that. And we can talk about Google as well, but Apple doesn't seem to have that going for them just yet, because everyone talked about a super cycle that didn't happen, and that's where the focus is. And it didn't happen because there was no compelling reason for people to do it.
Was a joke.
My family, everybody except for myself and my family uses Apple, and nobody cared that much about the new releases.
Well, because they didn't have what they promised, Neil, which was an upgraded AI. Apple Intelligence. New traders, listen up, baby. First month, it is absolutely free. That's right, we're waiving the fees so you can trade smarter, not harder, all by upgrading to that elite experience where you can analyze, strategize, and then hopefully after all that, you'll capitalize on their platform that has everything. Infinite data, instant trading, and lightning fast market insights and game-changing charts. can also predict better with their backtesting tool. You get reliable, real-time data, global markets at the tips of your fingers. It's an all-in-one platform, baby. So don't miss out. Execute your best trades now. Ready and only if you're ready to elevate your trading. Scan that QR code or check the link in the description. Shout out to the great folks there at eSignal. Let's go on to the next topic here. Meta to ban political ads in the European Union starting in the fall. So they will stop allowing political, electoral, and social issue ads in the EU starting in October 2025. This applies across all their platforms, including Facebook as well as the Gram. It was a regulatory move here. So the move is in direct response to the EU's new transparency and targeting of political advertising regulation. Meta criticized the TTPA for imposing what they call unworkable requirements and legal uncertainties into their business. The operational concerns here are that, Meta claims the regulation presents major operational and legal challenges. It argues that it limits the advertiser's reach and diminishes content relevance for users. Despite the ad ban, they will continue, meaning Meta will allow political discourse and debate to still be allowed on their platform, and they reiterated their commitment to political speech and fair elections, just not with advertising. Look, I'm not a big fan of the government getting involved in business, but the fact of the matter is, Neil, there has been a lot of disinformation, and Meta has been the vehicle for a lot of that disinformation at times. So I personally don't like this. I should be able to advertise if I want and make my speech, and then the person reading has the duty to figure out whether this is BS or not. But in Europe, they don't see it that way.
They don't. And I don't want to get too political with it.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's just the way it is.
No, right? I tend to not be much for the hand-holding type either. So, it's unfortunately that sort of is what it is, and not everyone. One of the most beautiful things in the world is that not everyone has to agree with each other. It's a boring place if everyone does agree. But exactly. I kind of believe you should have the freedom. And then, the whole buyer beware and take responsibility for your own actions.
There you go.
But the second salvo into Tesla into 317 didn't go. The first one did press. It went 18 to 19, reloaded it, and it just lost a bit again. It doesn't, it's not going mean crazy, and it didn't really break out that downward trend without still taking some lows. So we might still be headed toward the 315 after all. I'd like to see us close above that 318 if we could on Tesla. And, it's the thing. It's always fun in the chat. Some people agree, some people disagree, which is perfectly fine.
Let's talk a little Carvana, though, Neil.
Oh goodness,
nice little upgrade.
Can
today.
we all agree that fundamentally that company doesn't make sense?
I don't want to touch his company with.
Hold on a second. Before Sharif reads, I want to see how many people in the chat think that Carvana's valuation is fair, is good. And put it in 1 if you think Carvana's priced correctly. Put in 2 if you think it makes no sense at the price that it's at. Just let me know in the chat.
Yeah, well,
because I'm going to put in all of the 2s that I can.
Well, you're disagreeing with the Oppenheimer analyst here, Neil. His name is Brian Nagel. And he gave them an outperform from a perform. There we go. Now it's coming in. Hey, there's a 1. I saw it. Drago. Block him, Neil.
No.
Block him. No, I'm playing.
I respect it. I respect it.
I'm playing.
I don't agree, but I respect it.
Upgraded and Carvana from outperform. So to outperform from perform. Brian Nagel setting the price target of $450, which implies a 38% upside from yesterday's closing price. Year to date, this thing's already, again, from yesterday's closing price, up 60%. Not a bad look. Nagel called Carvana what he's terming digitally driven disruptor in a fragmented U.S. used car market. He highlights Carvana's business model is now humming, according to him. Do they sell Hummers? Post-restructuring, generating solid cash flow and scaling efficiently. His words. Carvana's management as well, he cites, has cut costs aggressively and restructured the balance sheet, positioning the company for sustained profitability. And the operational leverage, according to him, is kicking in as customers demand rebounds in the used auto sector. So that's what he sees there. And then with respect to market share, he's like, their current market share in the used car market in the United States is actually quite low, creating opportunities for market expansion. And the company estimates 3 million Keep it down.
Bless you.
The company estimates 3 million used units, Neil, used unit sales over the next
Be
5
nicer
to
to
10
me.
years.
Don't be rude.
Do you see how she treats me sometimes?
Because
How come you take her side all the time?
Because Ramin is always bringing me treats when she has them.
Ah, of course.
No.
there-
It's nothing to do with that. But it's a little bit. And anytime I need allergy medication, what?
Yeah, she's
What
there.
up, Fabian? Don't act like I don't see you. I see you. No, Ramin's good peoples, man.
I know she's.
I know. We're just having.
Man,
We're just
I
having
gotta
fun.
give her a
But be
hard
nice
time.
to her, seriously.
Absolutely.
What was that?
Absolutely.
Say that again.
Never. All right, let's do Deckers. Last one here.
Just don't. You can't tell people that you don't like to have to repeat yourself.
I knew exactly what you were going for there. But I thought you wanted to like reassure that I was going to be nice to her, which I don't really want you to be quite sure about that because I probably won't.
Oh, what are you eating over there?
All right, let's talk about this one. Assassino, last one. Q1 earnings for Deckers, guys. These are the guys that make Hoka and Uggs and stuff like that. Q1 net income, guys, about $140 million or about 93 pennies per share. That's up from $116 million last year or about 75 pennies per share. So a good beat on the top and bottom line. They did beat the analyst expectations of 68 pennies per share. Revenue rose a healthy amount here to about 17%, up to $964 million, again topping Wall Street's estimates of around $900 million. And here's how they did by segment. So their Hoka sales jumped 20%. Brendo says these are good, not like I know. 20%. They're selling about $653 million worth of these shoes. Their guide, their forecast anyway was about 610, a little bit less than that. UGG sales as well climbed 19%. Ram, are UGG still popular with you guys over there? Yeah, they're popular still. Climbed about 19% year over year, up to about 265 million. The forecast there was about 237, so an easy beat. Here's what caught my attention though, Neil, and this is what we've been seeing a lot. Their wholesale revenue, meaning selling to stores like your Dick's Sporting Goods, your Foot Lockers, surged 27%. So they're going back to that, while their direct-to-consumer sales rose less than 1%. Well, isn't direct-to-consumer a better margin way to get to sell your product? Sure, but you also have less exposure. So that's what we heard from Nike. Nike is kind of dropping or reducing their direct-to-consumer footprint in favor of going back to that wholesale, like again, the Dick's Sporting Goods and the Foot Locker, so they can get, that three-wall exposure. And so it looks like Deckers is kind of doing the same thing. It seems to be an industry trend over here. So we'll see how that continues into the next year. And just to give you an idea of how they did domestically versus internationally, international sales are up over 50%, while domestic sales fell 3%. So a bit of, Did everybody see that? And now you're wondering why I don't like her? You're wondering why I'm always giving her a hard time? So this guy's just gonna eat chocolate in front of me and I got a salt pack.
Bruh. Bruh.
All right. We gotta say something.
Welcome to the Trader TV
no, I'm not
mukbang.
fasting, Nick. She just doesn't like me. She didn't bring me anything because she doesn't like me.
It just goes to show.
How's that chocolate doing?
Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah?
It's awesome. Thank you so much for me, and I appreciate it.
Is it milk chocolate
I
or is there any
appreciate you.
caramel in that bad boy?
Well, I mean, you'd be able to find out if you could have some.
Can you look at the wrapper on that?
One.
Have a look at the wrapper. Roll it. Yeah.
Oh, word.
Yeah, I can
What does it
read
say?
that. This chocolate will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Does it melt in your mouth? Does it melt in your mouth the same way SBET is melting right now?
Oh!
No, but this is actually delicious. That was you guys couldn't tell. This is actually, it's Arabic.
Of course, it's from Saudi.
So this is from Saudi.
She brings everything from, she smuggles it in from Saudi.
If I'm being honest with you,
paying
Sharif,
tax.
it looked like
your
chocolate.
Name. I know your full name over
I
there.
opened it and I ate it because that's how I roll. But no, I'm just saying. Ramin is absolutely the best.
Love you guys, man.
And
okay, yeah, exactly.
hopefully I'm not making mess.
Exactly, Havana. She's like my younger sister. I'm gonna give her trouble.
You should.
That's just
We got a super chat from TD Baker.
Get
here.
it, TD.
What up, TD, first of all? What up, TD stock finally coming back? Guys, can I get your thoughts on Hood for the end of the day with earnings coming up? I would normally expect some profit taking today. Well, I tend to agree with you when you have a stock which has performed the way that Hood has. And it's been, look, it's on a tear. I think all of that, so a lot of people were disappointed that they didn't get added to the S&P, but really it didn't seem to affect the stock too much. On the day the announcement happened, it was flat. It only really sold off after that because the rest of the names sold at the end of the crypto week. It's still holding on to its upward trend, if only so. There you go. It's still holding on to the upward trend. I want to say barely because really it came within like $5 of it. Unless it breaks, I would not be terribly concerned until it breaks this trend line. I think that's around the time that you can expect to see some maybe bigger downside days. But when valuation is through the roof like it is with Robinhood, the slightest miss or whatever excuse they can come up with is what usually ends up taking it to the downside. So as far as this afternoon goes, it's hard to like the fade when it's holding a gap fill. And it bounced right off this gap fill into 105. So as long as it's over 105, good under 105, I'd be a little concerned. Might even be an afternoon breakdown trade, which we only have 12 minutes to go, and then we're going back on over. I'm going to save a little bit of this because I didn't even finish my lunch yet. I haven't touched my salad. We had like, did you do what's for lunch, Sean? Did you do what's for lunch? Did you do what's for lunch? So it was like spaghetti. It was like spaghetti and like meat sauce or whatever. But then we got like Sean and I, and then when they did the salad, we had like just like chicken, little bits of chicken and couscous. And I've been munching on it while Sharif was doing the news. So thank you, Sharif, for doing that. Because I realized when we started the show that I'm like, when am I going to eat my lunch? So I've been trying to get it in. Anyways, I'm only still in SBET, everybody. And at the end of the day, I'm not seeing a terribly good reason to get out. Down 8%. The other side of this bad boy is it's losing the 50 period. One of the reasons I like it short today is A, it's trending down. B, when it broke the prior day low, it's losing the 50 period moving average, which is also under this gap at about 22, which is more or less exactly where we're short. So at this point, I did have a reload. I was still in it when we got this reload, but my plan when I was short here and the plan was to hold some through the low anyways. So that's all we're doing. If we get to 21 even, if we get to 21 even, that's where it goes SSR. Pretty much the penny. I think it's literally $20.99. So I expect this stock to bounce in front of 21. If it gets there, I will be out of it in front of the 21 level. I'm expecting a bounce on SBET. Just because it'll be around that 10% level. Let us know what else you guys. Kumar, what made you choose SBET? Whoops. You know what? I really don't like Edge. There's something that I'm hitting which resizes it every now and then.
Edge, I don't know, man. He's just different.
Like I click something and sometimes it'll like resize and it'll condense the chat because I clicked the wrong place. Anyways, what made you choose SBET to trade today, and what is your outlook on SBET for next week? Well, it's okay. What made me choose it? I didn't short it till it was consolidating off the bottom. So here's why I chose SBET to trade.
Okay.
This is what SBET did yesterday. Tried to break, flushed, and then trended down. And when it bounced off the lows in the morning, it was a pop and then fade for the rest of the day. So what did it do today? Popped early, flushed. So when I'm looking for something to do, because I wasn't in much of anything at the time, well, yesterday, when first bounce, you shorted it and held it the rest of the day, more or less, to a new fresh low. Well, let's see if it does the same thing, bounce, fade. So I'm just doing what it looked like it did yesterday. So that was the reason. My outlook for next week is, it seems to me like a short till it's not. I don't have a reason not to look short on this stock, but the pattern says it gets bought up on any strength in crypto, specifically ETH, and then you can look to have it resume that trend line to the downside. So until it starts behaving like it's not a short, I'm not anticipating there's no big levels in here till you get to like $13. So it's not an outlook, it's just a preference. of looking for the short until the trend breaks. That's all. So, yeah, that's my plan of action there. Ooh.
What happened?
No, I just saw Vin S. I forgot to look at ASTS. You know what I almost called it. ASTS is dropping again. Traders call this ASTS.
Of course. It's actually a requirement to call this ASTS.
Tell me algos aren't in control. Tell me algos are in control without telling me algos are in control.
Well said.
Look at this price action
Beautiful flat
on
bottom.
ASTS.
Yeah, that's
it's almost, forget about the flat bottom.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's actually, that's
at that.
bear pennant. That's a nice look right there.
That's a bear pennant.
Yeah, compression. Lower highs, higher lows. Right,
Well,
but flip it.
This is a fun thing. Like, I don't know what any of these are called.
It doesn't really matter what the hell they're called.
It's what it
though.
means.
Exactly.
It's what it means to me at the end of the day. It just means the price is compressing, and when it breaks either way, you kind of like it. But ASTS, they did report, and suffice to say, obviously, it was disappointment. I do believe it hasn't gone to the lows from last night. That's down around 52.5. And if you really take a step back, this is still very much at the highs. The space names have been flying, for lack of a better word. I actually have a button on mine for this, but I can't hit it.
Oh, are you talking about this one over here?
No, there's one that's like to the moon that I like to do for the space names. No, whether it's Rocket or ASTS. I
like those.
They've been absolutely blasting, and I guess they just got to a bit of a top and running out of steam, but it's right back into these prior highs here at 53 that it seems to be holding, which does matter.
All right, Neil, can I just cover something?
Yeah, go for it.
We're
I'm just
doing
gonna
it
add some more
I don't know what's going on with the position board. We're long 205 here on SMX. It's flying to the high side. We're at the high of the day, 18s. This is really going. I don't want to have too many shares left, so I can't. I'm going to post up here at 21s. So let's see what happens here. SMX has been rocketing up. I punched in at 205. As it showed me, it defended the 10 EMA yet again. Look where we've been involved in this one. Obviously, we took a little bit of a hiatus here as Neil and I started talking and doing the news, but this one didn't take a hiatus at all. There's 18s. There's another high a day. Here we go again on SMX. Be careful, though, because we know what these ones do. They'll flip the switch on you in a hot second. 19s now showing up. 20s, Neil. Here comes the squeeze. Boom! Into the high side on SMX again. Good strength on this name. Shout out to my man Bovin, who's been in this thing since a $1.27. Bovin printing up multiple storms on that side. Go, SMX, go. This has been a good one on the day. We're going to keep an eye out on this one. I pull into two guys, and I'm a buyer again. Simple as that. Allow this one to come back, and we're going to take it out. Now it's really getting crazy. Now it's above 100%, and I haven't seen it squeeze like this basically all day. That's a 30-penny move that we got quick as you like. To get 10 pennies out of this piece of you-know-what, it took a long time. Just look at the price action. This is the biggest candle, in my humble estimation, on the day. And it doesn't have a short float, guys. At least not one from at least 2 weeks ago. It's got a 21.7 million share float according to Trade Ideas with a 0.21% short float of that 21.7. Let me just juxtapose that to my thing over here, SMX, to make sure that the float is kosher on both my platform and the other one. And this one is saying, my platform that is saying sub 1 million. It's giving me an 881,000 share float. So sometimes I hate that. I hate that. Let's see what Perplexity has to say. Show yourself, Perplexity. Here it is.
The float? What's
the float on SMX? And, oops, what's the short float? Go. Come on, Perplexity. All right, so it's doing its search, public, okay. Represents a number of shares as of July. The sources significantly range. Yeah, don't I know it. Some sources show a float of approximately 216. Others specify 533. Additional outlets have recently cited 3.31. Yeah, so that's the thing about this one. The short float now. 3.7% as of mid-June, equating to about 23,900 shares. When I look at SMX on my platform over here, there are no shortable shares on it. So I always kind of use that as an informal gauge to see whether or not it's easy to buy or sell. So SMX on the warpath, good look. But I want to give you guys another one here because LIDR, LIDR, sure, it has that 80 seller, but look at this.
we are making yet a third higher low. So this area into VWAP, this 420 area that we came into at noon, we pop back up, reject 480. We knew about that. We drop back down into 440, make a higher low. Pop back up to 480 again. Look where we going here now, 445. So it's higher low, Katina, man. Possibly for that 480 break here on your boy LIDR, LIDR. So exuberant were the buyers that they didn't allow the price action, Katina, man, to drop into the volume weighted average price on the last two troughs. Only this trough over here at 12 noon actually hit VWAP. So keep your eye on LIDR. It's up 59.5%, could get going. But look at SMX, man. This one's still going as we speak. Into the high of the day again at 34s. Great strength here from the small cap gappers midday. This one continuing to go, guys, despite the fact that it was trading. It was trading. Oh, the SMX started trading in the aftermarket yesterday. It started going at around 5 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so this one's still going, guys. There's another high of the day. There goes 240 on SMX. So great look on this name. Good continuation, and I love to see it. I hate seeing these ones, you know, pull it, all the buyers in only to have that Christmas tree retracement where one side is green and the other is red because it did an upside down V retracement. Those hurt the most, and they really make traders hate these small cap gappers because you end up getting burned on them and you don't tend to forget it. So SMX, Neil, gonna keep an eye on that one, but there goes LIDR. It took out the 480 sellers now. It just weaseled into about 5, a little bit lower than 5, but it took out the key sellers. Now, the micro pullbacks could be on here on LIDR. Let me flip to my 5-second chart on the top. Let's have a look.
5 seconds.
Yeah, that's how I spot the micro pullbacks. I'm a buyer. Oh, wow, look at that. Flips right back down. Look at that, Neil. Oh, that's ugly.
nasty.
That is ugly. That pulled everybody in, and now it dropped from 495. It dropped in 1 5-second in 1 minute candle, 457. Now it's found a midpoint here in the 470s. Be careful with LIDR, guys. Use sound risk management and don't fall in love with these pieces of you know what. They're around for a good time, not a long time.
That is 100% true. That, look, if it can drop 10%, just by a few bids pulling in like that, you also have the risk of a halt. There's a lot can go wrong very fast. I just realized it's 2 o'clock. I actually have to switch on over, which is going to be it's a small amount of work, not a heck of a lot.
Do your thing, I can hang.
But just very quickly, NVIDIA had this drop. See that drop? NVIDIA, there was nothing specific that was going on, but I saw a bottoming tail on volume, broke the prior day high, and once it did, I jumped in. I'll run a tight stop on this. I looked over just to quickly show you guys.
Yes, sir.
The first thing, when I saw that candle, I'm like, well, did AMD do anything? No. So that last push that you just saw in NVIDIA, AMD dropped about 10 cents when NVIDIA made that little bit of a candle. So it is worth noting this weakness that came in, it might be specifically just in NVIDIA. Bob the Dog, we're gonna get to your, I wanna get to your super chat, Bob the Dog, because we don't wanna miss them all. What are the chances Rigetti fills the daily gap at around 13 in the next few weeks? Is there a chance for another leg up before? Thank you. And Sir David Smoosh a lot. Is this heaven? No, it's SMX buying the dip 101. So shout out to you. Appreciate you there.
I like
good
it.
look. SMX looking fantastic. No questions asked. When it comes to Rigetti,
Knees are heavy.
arm, I know you. I like it. That's right. Knees are heavy, mom spaghetti, all that fun stuff. Well, you have to ask yourself what the next catalyst is for these bad boys, because the gap on the daily, would I expect it to get filled based on what I see? Well, I don't know about 13. Isn't it 14? The only thing I would say is I would expect based on this pattern to fill it into about 14. Maybe I guess you're looking down here to fill in the gap all the way. I tend to think a lot of times you'll check back up and slow down in and around a prior high, kind of like it did here. It doesn't mean it holds it, but at least checking up there. So I'm thinking maybe closer to like $13.8 to $14. There doesn't seem to be anything new happening with them. So until you get a catalyst, resume trend until you get to a liquidity replenishment point. And when it does, that's when I'd look for a bounce. It's in an uptrend, but it's in a very steady type of uptrend where there's been lots and lots of pullbacks. that pull back into prior support or prior resistance. So that's what I look for. I just think it looks like 14 more than, 1380 to 14 more than 13. So I'm gonna mosey on over.
Yeah, mosey.
I'll have to log out and log back in over there. You'll see me in a couple of minutes, and we'll take you on into the close.
All right, guys. We're gonna do top one, guys. Futures. Are you looking to trade futures like the Nasdaq, the S&P, or even Bitcoin? Well, Top One Futures is one of the fastest growing prop firms out there. They give traders the chance to manage up to $1 million in capital. And the best part is you choose your own route. You can choose the instant funded route, the challenge route, or even a pro account and start trading your way to real payouts and even a live account. And in the last 90 days alone, they paid out over $10 million and earned 1,000 plus 5-star reviews from real traders, guys. Use the discount code TTV, as in Trader TV, to save on any account, or scan that QR code and head on over to top1futures.com and start trading towards your next payout. Good luck for them. And a very, very good day today, guys. Hope everybody had a fantastic day on the markets. Market at all-time highs again. All 4 major averages, as you'll see in a second when I go up to the green screen, are green for the moment. Bitcoin has recovered a little bit. We'll get to that. And the Mag 7 save and accept for Amazon and NVIDIA are all green on the day. And let me submit to you that Amazon and NVIDIA are barely red. So it's been a good look. We'll keep an eye out for these small cap gappers. It really is, though, the SMX show assassino, as this one continues to make higher highs and higher lows into that 242 area. Send it to you, Katina Man. Good to go? Okay, so it is, without further ado, the Katina Man locked and loaded and ready to look at these tickers. Send it over.